It's always probably the best side to be on this map, and if they can get past this buy, then they have a pretty good chance in this half to at least make it competitive. With Vitality win it, you know, with the UMP still on Zywoo, to make any gun look insane. But still, it's a situation where, you know, if they lose this one, they're probably staring down the barrel of 14.
Just comes down to how much building can start off with this opening rifle. Zywoo getting very aggressive in with this UMP, wanting to get up close and personal, and so far the T's don't know about him.
Yeah, he's fully blind. Surely gets a photo of Magisk. Oh, he's caught him in the back there. Caught him with his pants down. Finally traded by Zipex, but that's a good frag for a UMP in a buy round such as this. It's not the SMG of choice really these days. Everyone seems to go to the MP9, but Zywoo seems to like it. And Apex, even through the smoke, is going to deal with Zipex. That is dirty. 4 versus 3. He's poked up as well, looking for the frag. Actually gets caught though, jump spotting, but it activates Jocks. Does great damage. Gets the first, not the second. Traded, but it activates Masuta to do even more. They don't expect another push to come through. He gets one, falls back as well, and they know where Lucky is. 1 versus 2 for Lucky. There's a bit of a better game than Nuke, but this is surely beyond him. He can get the bomb planted, but he's going to be mollied out of position. Has to fall back. They know he's basically gone only in one spot, and they can play off each other here. Masuta and Kaijin both have defuse kits. The 2 youngsters of Vitality doing a chance here to have a great chance of going for the clutch. Oh, actually, that lineup almost happened. Look at the HP. Goodness me. 29 combined. Great attempt, but in the end, not to be.
That was well placed to come in for Vitality in that 2v1, that they can realise straight away that he's going out to that yellow and alley entrance rather than back into ramp, just with the information they've got, with the utility being quite light. And you mentioned how there's an advantage here for Astralis right on T's side, that they can try and bring it back. Yeah, it's an odd one, because you have a look at their last few results. The Heroic game, the Liquid game, the Vitality game in the past, all of which they've started on the CT side. I just want to run through some of their T-sided performances in those 3 games, Travis. Yep. Against Heroic in Pro League, they got 2 rounds on T. Against Vitality, when it came to them in the Blast Fall groups, they got 6 rounds on T. Against Liquid, 5 rounds on T. So when you start really adding it up, that they started CT, they built foundations, and then just could not deliver in the second half. And now seeing that round play out, now being 5-13, is there really any room here to work with?
Yeah, I'm not sure anymore, to be honest. I mean, when you lose against the bonus buy as well of Vitality, that just keeps their economy at a pretty good stage as well. Sure, they only survive with 2 players alive, but still, it's a rough one for Astralis. And now, they have a buy, of course. And considering they got the bomb plant, it helps them out quite a significant amount. We have Zipex on the Mac 10 and Magic's only on the Galil. Of course, the Galil's a very good gun, but they need absolutely full strength to make these rounds win, because they can't do it with the full AKs at the moment.
Oh, Masuda, look at this. He's got bomb control. He's stuck in behind them. How has this gap been exposed?
I can't believe it. This is going to be disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. Are we going to have a big spray down here from Masuta? He's leaving behind 3 players. They have absolutely no idea. There's 1, there's 2. Now Lucky's finally allergic to it, but that makes the other 8 players pounce. He can only get 1. Can he get more? He's wildly spraying. Actually does well to stay alive, considering he's in that position. But in the end, it's going to be an absolute clean-up. Kaijin's even in T-spawn with the information on the bomb. How on earth have they let that one slip? That's a huge gap they've just exposed.
Okay, so let's think about this for a moment. So Masuda pushes mid, goes down ladder, backsteps into ramp, gets 2 kills, realizes pretty quickly, oh, actually, Lucky's still here at ramp. He goes back in to that forklift position, gets a 3rd kill, and then Q just push B stairs.
Oh my god. I mean, that's how I'd react if I was Astralis, to be honest. That is painful to the extreme. Everything's being exposed right now, and they're down to pistols. It's just Eagles to work with in this one to try and prevent Vitality from reaching match point. That is dirty stuff from that CT side, exposing the gaps, exposing the situation there. A huge gap in the defense, completely ruined for Astralis, and Kaijin doing even more damage. Great stuff from him. He's even got shocks and support as well, and that should be it. 15 on the board for Vitality, just 2 kills away.
They're just cleaning it up at this point, aren't they? Bubsky, last one left. Shocks just pressing forward. Hungry for this last pick, and it's going to get found. 15-5. 1 more to go for Vitality. Geez, this hasn't even been them tested, has it? You have a look at the last head-to-heads. It's been, what, in history, 7 best-of-3s, or 11 best-of-3s in general. Astralis have won 7 of them. Vitality have won 4. The last 3 meetings have all gone the way of Vitality. It's all been online. Vitality have never beaten Astralis on LAN, and they're going to do it in a 2-0 fashion without even, breaking a sweat by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's been a painful last 2 days to be an Astralis fan, hasn't it? They lost to ENT 16-4, 16-7, and they're about to lose to Vitality in even more convincing fashion, it feels like. Only one more round needed for the CT side, for the Frenchmen to get themselves through to that third place officially at the end of this game. Zipex does well, though, to advance past the smoke. Actually does catch off Zyru, but Apex now has a chance to refrag. Has to fall off of it, though, as he's getting pressured from every angle.
A start in the round to come in from Astralis. That lurk play up from Zipex coming to the top of ramp is going to assist with an opening man advantage. Masuda giving some util back over to Apex, trying to see if they can slow it down out to ramp.
It's going to be a tough one. It's Apex with one, and there's Masuda with another. Oh, could this be it? Could this be third place locked in? They have a 4 versus 3 to work with. There's a minute on the clock for Astralis to do something. Hubsky is lurking toward the middle, but there's an elevated position from Sharks. Oh, that's dirty. How are you ever going to predict that one? It's now all down to Lucky and Dupree to try and save it in a 2v4.
Just such an off angle that you're not expecting at all. Lucky has to flick down onto the default position, deals with Apex. They don't know about Masuda, who's starting to make a way forward. He's just hiding out, waiting for those rotates to come through, trying to get the assistance from the B players of Shock and Kyojin.
Yeah, and it's the right thing to do as well. He spots the head of the first. Can he creep up and get this damage? There's some frags coming in, and there we go. Kajin gets the first. It's all down to Lucky, but 2 quick fire frags from Kajin secures Vitality's third place in IEM Fall. And that is that. Astralis have been destroyed once again for the second time in 2 days, and that is the EU portion of IEM Fall done and dusted. There we are.
Just notice the body language too there for the Vitality side. It's not massive, it's not a huge victory, it's comfortable and it's safe. And them going into this third place decider, they're playing for pride, and my goodness, they absolutely destroyed Astralis in this one. It felt as if it wasn't even a challenge at moments.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned beforehand, didn't we? This is, now, of course, they are playing for points, but it is a bit of a show match in a weird sense, considering they're both qualified. You know, Vitality have already got their legend spot, and Astralis have already confirmed to be one of the challenger slots. So it was not crucial as a huge amount as it has been early on in the bracket, but still, I mean, Vitality turned up to play, and Zyro was fantastic. We're going to go to a break. When we're back, we'll analyse this and the rest of the day. Team Vitality have absolutely owned Astralis and confirmed themselves as the third best team in IEM Fall EU. It's been an insane performance from them today. My name is Travis alongside Dweg. We've seen an insane day of Counter-Strike today, topped off by one of the performances of the day.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine so. Yeah, it's not quite the competitive nature that maybe what some people were hoping for, but my goodness, did we see a solid Vitality out in not only map 1, but in map 2 as well. And it just felt as if it wasn't just the ZywOo show. We saw more out of Kyojin, Masuda had some good moments, Shox was doing a lot of lurking on T-side, and Apex was, of course, making the calls.
Absolutely, and I mean, he was fragging as well. Apex had a few insane rounds and, helping out with ZywOo and those clutches on the B side as well. And Shox had so many impactful lurks. How many times did we see him up toward the angle on the B wall there, completely unnoticed? And that just made it so difficult for Astralis to know exactly what was going on so many times over.
Just so many gaps being exploited was something that we spoke about a lot. You noticed how we saw Shox doing a lot of lurking on T side. What about the CT side? We saw Masuda getting into the backlines. Kyojin was doing the same. It just felt as if for Astralis, this isn't the Astralis we know and love. The team that did so well when it came to IEM Cologne, that went all the way to the semi-finals. Yeah, they've done the same again in this event. But look at the result. 0-2 against ENCE in the semis. 0-2 here against Vitality in the third place decider. I don't know, I expected more here for Astralis on LAN.
Yeah, I mean, it's worrying, isn't it? I mean, I mentioned beforehand how I consider them a little bit of a dark horse, considering they went through the best of one group so comfortably. But it's a worrying situation for them right now, at least in my opinion, because right now, we're at a situation where they've played 2 best-of-3s in 2 days. They've lost one, 16-4, 16-7, and lost the other, 16-6, 16-5. That is convincing. And these days, when, Counter-Strike is so tight at the top, you get close games with what feels like everyone. That is significant losses, and especially when they've picked Nuke twice and been owned twice.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine some changes are going to have to come through from the veto, and some changes going to have to come through for not a lot of these teams, because of course pretty much everyone got their ticket to the major. Copenhagen Flames being able to do that again against paiN today, that was an extraordinary game, wasn't it? Started off at 1 PM CST, went 4 hours for 2 maps. That was insane.
That was one of the best maps I've ever had the opportunity of casting, and I think you'd agree with me on that one. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Inferno delivering once again, and it wasn't even a best-of-3 decider. It was map 2, as you say. I mean, just absolutely remarkable, and it was an incredible way to end as well with Copenhagen Flames getting that spot at the major. That was the one major slot we decided today, and it was the last major slot overall. And yeah, it was nice to be able to decide that. It now feels like everything's been rounded off and we can head into a little bit of a couple of weeks break and then go into the major. Everyone's going to be fresh. Everyone's going to be ready and raring to go. I'm excited for it. I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, there's some very good teams that have made their way through. Entropic is going to be one that I'm keeping my eyes out that came through the CIS portion. Some of the Brazilian teams, Godsent, paiN, really doing quite well in the South America sort of portion. EG being able to sneak through, beating Extremum only yesterday or a couple of days ago in that best-of-3. So all in all, we've had some very exciting results, some teams that maybe people wouldn't expect going to the major. And of course, you'd have to imagine that some history books have been made for some of these teams, especially when you look at someone like Movistar Riders and Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, first ever Spanish roster to make it through to the major as well. I mean, that's just such a huge thing for them and that region. I mean, you heard some of the clips of them, the Spanish casters going absolutely wild for these plays, especially the Sun Pius clutch today. I heard another little soundbite earlier of them just going absolutely insane for that, taking down G2 earlier, really cementing their sort of position at the moment as a team that can, have some huge upset potential.
Yeah, and of course, moving forward out of EU, we are going to start getting over to NA. paiN versus Liquid is going down, as well as Furia versus Godsent. So if you may be thinking about Brazil versus North America, there's that one there for you. Or the derby of the Brazilians, Furia versus Godsent. That could be a bit of a keen one, right?
An A qualifier? What do you mean? It's the BR qualifier. They have absolutely overrun that qualifier. It's absolutely ridiculous to see how many players from Brazil have made the major. I think I'm most impressed by Godsent. I mean, Taco, he's back at a major once again. So is Phelps. It's great to see those two players, bringing through maybe a little bit of a new generation of Brazilian players. I think Phelps, he always had the talent, but, he's had a little bit of a time off from, being around in the Counter-Strike scene as a relevant player. Now he's back. I'm excited to see what he can do at the major again, because he is actually one of my favourite Brazilian players.
And this is probably time for us to get out of here, Travs. Try and set things up for that North American side. Any final words from you? Because my goodness, on the EU portion of the B stream, 3 BO3s today, we had it all.
We did have it all, and I will have to say, just some thank yous, to be honest. It's been a huge honor to be brought on today. I will say get well soon to Eternal J. Unfortunately, he was sick for this, so I managed to step in at the last minute. It's obviously usually the Dweg Eternal J combination is what you'd expect when you see Dweg on screen, but yeah, hopefully Eternal J will be back very soon indeed, and I wish him well. It's been an honor. Thank you very much to ESL for bringing me on. I appreciate all the nice comments as well, and hopefully I'll see you around these streams again very, very soon.
Now that's
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose teen badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium. The complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
5 years, the Lanxess Arena of Cologne has been the about competitive Counter-Strike. The favourites coming in that tournament have just unlocked the internal and another pushing on.
got a throne to claim. Think that I'll crumble? I'll show you a mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. 'Cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet, forget all of my fears. Cause I know my destiny, I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legends feel good. This is my moment, can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. I came to conquer.
Faced myself in the mirror not so long ago, and I told me, do you know? I told me, do you know? All alone in your head, but you don't have to pretend that you will make a change, 'cause you don't wanna change. I'm gonna be real honest this time. I'm okay with it, I am more than fine. I'm gonna roll all less red dice now. Tell me I won't get out. Tell me I won't get out. I wanna walk the sky alone among the stars without forgetting who I was, or have to look back that far. And I don't want to forget who, get who. And are you just fucking around in my mind one last time? I'm gonna be real honest this time. I'm okay with it, I am more than fine.
support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
5 years, the Lanxess Arena of Cologne has been the about competitive Counter-Strike. The favourites coming in the tournament have just unlocked the intel of the air. Now they're pushing on.
Intel Extreme Masters Fall is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, 1xBet, US Air Force, DHL, Monster Energy, Coinbase, and CSGO Hub powered by Coil.
These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
It's the final day of IEM Fall. Most spots have been decided, but we still have some seedings and cash to play for. I'm Boggs, joined by JRT. John, are you ready for Liquid versus paiN?
I absolutely am. This one should be very interesting with both teams exchanging wins in BO3s throughout this year.
Oh yes, indeed. We have some words from two of these teams here to get us started for this matchup.
So, in my opinion, and in the opinion of our teammates, it's Liquid. They have the more experienced players, maybe the most talented, and they are a very strong team. Everybody knows that. So, I think it's Liquid the best in our group.
I'd say our goal for sure is to try to get back into the top 10 HLTV for sure. I think that's a start. Besides winning though, I know for a fact we want to make the major. It'd be insane. And then probably get a deep run in the major would be nice. But besides that, I mean, I don't really think we have anything else.
Deep run in the major, make the major. Well, the first has been accomplished for Grim and company. paiN up against a big opponent. We have some vetoes to get into too for our BO3. But while we look at those, John, any thoughts on this matchup?
I mean, honestly, I feel like I actually want to talk about the veto. Sorry, just for a second here. I figured Mirage would be banned by paiN. I know we had a discussion before, but their Inferno's been a little rough. But fact of the matter is, I don't think Liquid's going to pick into Inferno anyway because of how well Vertigo went for them, as it was a 16-4 win against paiN last time. Oh, okay, interesting. Liquid choosing Overpass. I don't necessarily mind that as well because paiN definitely have vulnerabilities there, but
yeah,
they've started to get better over the last little bit.
Yeah, I was not expecting Overpass to come through. The nuke pick from paiN, I actually did expect, given how Liquid don't exactly have the best records on nuke, lost to Godsend as well last night, so definitely a smart pick coming in here from paiN. Decider, I guess, John, is going to be Vertigo, because it's, I think, the one that's kind of absent from both of these two picks.
Yeah, now they're going to ban Inferno. That makes sense, right? Because it hasn't been pretty, but I don't think they're going to ban it right off the bat, because Mirage is something they'd like to avoid, I think, especially against Liquid, who are pretty good on it. And then we have, Vertigo left over, obviously. So I'd say it's a really good veto for Liquid. I don't think that paiN is, maybe Nuke is going to be okay, but still, Liquid's solid. I mean, I don't see a path forward for paiN, honestly, in this best of 3. It's going to be a very, very tough one for them, Austin.
Yeah, I think the one window they have is going to be nuke to get a map on the board here. I think that is their option. I don't see them winning here on Overpass. I don't necessarily see them winning on Vertigo either, given the last time they met, which was only 4 days ago now, was a 16-4.
Yeah, it was very rough. And I say I don't really see a path forward for paiN here, but to be quite honest with you, they did defeat Liquid back in March. The only reason why I kind of discount those results a little bit is because it's been 6 months now, and both teams have evolved tremendously since that point. And I think that Liquid has become an even better team than they were back then, and you can see it from their results. Sure, yesterday you might look at it and say, wow, that Godsend loss was quite surprising. 0-2, Liquid went down there, and the last map was an 8-16 loss. But Godsend are really good. They are really, really good, and you're seeing it come out here. I'm so happy they've got a spot in the major, because they'll surprise a lot of people moving forward. That said, going back to this matchup, I still think that Liquid has the edge, and paiN's experience is much lower than the Godsend squad, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Godsend has a couple players that have already played through majors. None of paiN's players have ever played in a major before Stockholm. Liquid, 4 out of 5 have made the major, and one of them has even won a couple of them and fallen, so Grim being that odd man out who's never played in a major here on Liquid. But here we go. Overpass kicking off between paiN and Liquid. Liquid on the T side of their map pick. Double smokes, double flashes, and a Molotov for Fallen. And Safe's going to take that first contact out towards T connector, but in the meantime, the bulk of the Liquid squad is going through Con, going to try and bust up either through water or out onto lane and up towards A.
Stewie and Grim, side by side, pushing up through connector into short A. And it looks like Liquid are going to be stacked up here right outside of mid. All of them coming on through. Fallen getting his smoke ready. Going to throw that onto the A site. Safe. Tapping away at the USPS. He's not really getting any connections on it as of yet. PKL's trying to support, but that's a great smoke thrown by Liquid. So now paiN are on the outside looking in. This will give Liquid the plan. Here's the boost. Fallen sees it, fires away, and gets him through the smoke. That makes it a 5v4 in favor of paiN, but still time is ticking away. They have to get back onto the site here and find a way to defuse this bomb.
They already do have the man advantage, but that is dealt with swiftly. Naf and Stewie now making it a one-man advantage, but in comes PKL. He's found out by Stewie as well. Swings out with a good flashbang from Naf, and it looks like it's going to be a mop here. Safe at the very least will get one back, but Grim is waiting around the next corner. Liquid win the pistol round, pretty clean as well. Good on the utility, great on the shots. Clean pistol round for Team Liquid.
Yeah, absolutely. A great job there. Stewie in particular with the 3K. Really nicely done for him. 1-0 in favor of Liquid. A player to watch out for, in fact, 2 players to watch out for on the Liquid side are Elige and Naf, who have been lights out here at IEM Fall. Both of them dropping plus 48, or close to plus 48 in Naf's case. Kill to death differential, and Naf at plus 47. And then over on Elige, he's the top of the team at 91.0 ADR, and you're going to see him rack up a lot more damage here, both for himself and for his opponents, because he's down to 1 HP.
Yeah, Safe's been tagged down as well, down to 16 as Fallen's going to clear up through Con with Stewie leading the way. Not the first time these two players have played together, John. If you look back to those MIBR Tarek and Stewie days, but yeah, it's good to see Stewie and Fallen reunited here on Liquid. That's something we didn't get to mention too in the pre-show. It's Fallen versus BR now. He's betrayed his brethren, and now he's gone from the older brother to perhaps a little bit of a bully. Stewie, though, he's going to open things up on the A site. But the rotations are here from paiN. They're all waiting the Liquid onslaught. Flashes go high from Fallen. He's going to smoke out towards Bank as well. Sends another flashbang forward, but Stewie's going to peek before it pops. Fallen running with the MAC-10, looking for the last 2 kills. He runs out of ammunition, has to swap to the Glock, And somehow Hard Zhao has found 2 kills, and the health is low on Elysian Grim. There's an opportunity for paiN to win this round. The bomb yet to be planted in the hands of Grim, and then comes a boost for Hard Zhao. Up he goes, he's spotted out 1, drops away.
Oh, Hard Zhao's going to get deleted by Elige, and then Nav comes in on the flank to take care of Big U. That's going to be the round here. A little tougher, I think, than Liquid was hoping for into that one, but they still get the second on the board. Now, of course, the player to watch out for on the paiN side, Safe with that big green gun. He is very effective with the AWP, one of the top players in Premier with it, and of course, well, he tends to perform pretty well against high-level competition. That said, it's been a little rougher for paiN, obviously, than they would have liked to kick off the playoffs against Furia. First map wasn't bad, Austin, 17-19 loss in Inferno, but then Ancient, a very humbling 0-16 loss. A map that paiN is very dominant on typically. Furia at their number. Naf's going to come through here and get 1, looking for the second, and it is a stack onto the B side. They're going to charge through. Naf taking care of business with 3. He does eventually go down, but it's Stewie to come in for the cleanup. Needs the entire clip, or magazine, excuse me, to get it done, but he does find the last 2 frags.
Yeah, that was a rather belabored spray on the last player up through short, but still, he does get it done. He does not fall. Only 1 casualty for Liquid. They will be very happy with that. 3-0 start. Plenty of money in the early going. Let's just look at how well Nap plays this as well. Goes to the deagle for these last 2. Almost as a 3rd or a 4th there. But Stewie's there for the trades. Coming in, mopping things up. But that was against the Pistols. That was against the Eco from paiN. Here comes test number 1. Safe has his op. There's Rifle across the rest of the paiN gaming side. Safe going towards Khan. And there you go. Meeting onto Fallen. Old card of Brazil has fallen first.
Begu just trying to spam through the flank there. Doesn't really connect on anything. And you do have Safe down to 40 HP. That engagement with Fallen. Oh, Grim spots some information. Of course, so did paiN. With the info hop. His, along with Big U, waiting here at the B site. Molotov misses the mark. Stewie still has some utility in his belt, but he's not really going to use it. Just dry peeking here. Goes for a shot, misses, and then is going to back off through the smoke. So Liquid not really able to gain much ground towards that B site as of yet, but Grim is now set up to help Pincer on forward.
Liquid still seeming to commit towards this B side take. They do have a good amount of utility still left to play with. They don't necessarily have to commit to this. The time is starting to dwindle down, and that's shown towards Nekis. He's blind now. The trades are not coming through. Finally, Elige picks him up. But look at the damage from Bigazetta. Doing so much on the Stewie and spraying down for more. Still Liquid in a 4v4, but their health is incredibly low. Grim needs to activate up from short. Tosses the flashbang in. Will not commit to this. Instead, they're going to go up towards Khan, where PKL is waiting for them. Only gets 1 with a flame. Will delay further and further. Grim, he's going to go through the fire. He's going to charge out. No, he's going to go back down towards B. They're going to collapse on the B side, but they are so wounded. In comes Safe. Gets the next kill. Hard Zhao out from Pillar. Should have the next, but no, it's going to be Safe instead. Naf is hemorrhaging, and Hard Zhao finally gets on the board here in this round. Nice mop up there by paiN, and it's Safe to get things started for them. The opper they need to shine.
Yeah, Safe, obviously, getting things into gear early on, which is a great sign here for the paiN side, as they immediately break that goose egg in the first 4 rounds here. 3-1 in favor of Liquid, and paiN will be able, of course, to bring the guns back into this one. A couple of AKs picked up off the ground from the previous round, but Liquid, on the other hand, they also have a full-on buy. It's going to be 3 AKs, the Galil, and the Op. Safe immediately going into connector, trying to find this opening frag. Flashbang thrown, and yeah, that's great isolation by Stewie to prevent a peek from coming through, and now he'll have the space to work with. Elige tossing the smoke in for short bathrooms, and Fallen finds the frag on Safe right before the smoke blooms.
That's a great pickup there by Fallen, holding onto the big green gun from Liquid. And again, to touch on that read from Stewie, he had the idea that Safe did that in the last round. He doesn't want to get fooled again, and he doesn't. Great flashbang, forces the opper back, and also gives himself an opportunity to take out the op with the rifle too, if the repeat came through. So overall, great reads by Liquid in the early going, not letting paiN get any sort of ground so far. Lee spots the one dashing back between Bank and the dice box. It's going to be PKL, and he's actually going to dome Stewie, so that's a good opening there for paiN to bring it to a 4v4. But still, Liquid don't have to commit to the A site. They will, however, commit. paiN does a lot of damage, but he takes a lot more in return. Grimm's pushed up, trays on it hard down. The Liege pops another, but Big Uzetta, he's been huge for paiN. Only able to get one. It's down to Nakiz. He tosses the nade out, and it's going to do a lot to Fallen. And Liquid do not have any utility left to play with. Nakiz has one more smoke in the bank, but he's going to jump up, and walk right out. Elige is keeping an eye on this angle from Dice. Fallen has to turn and look eventually. Now that Nakiz has found Elige, and that's exactly what Fallen does. Swings around, takes his time, and wins the round for Liquid.
Yeah, good job by Fallen. Great patience, not giving us position to Nakiz too early, and Team Liquid immediately isolate that round victory for paiN and pick up their fourth. Now, for paiN, looking at their economy, they could force up, but they're going to be conservative, which I think is the right call, because if you do buy up here, you probably wouldn't have full utility. So they're going to wait one more round to get that proper buy up, and this one they'll bring in a decent amount of firepower. 2 Deagles, 2 CZs, and the Scout. paiN quite good with those Deagles, of course, as all Brazilian teams are. Stewie, spots out the head on the info hop. Doesn't connect on it. Now he's going to prime them all top, toss it off the pillar, and that will force the Hardzao back. Stewie gets one on Nakiz, and Liege gets a second on Hardzao. There we go. Team Liquid moving in. 5v3, trying to clear out everything. Nap eventually going to have a peek into pit, and Big Oo's going to win that. Okay. Nap goes down. At least the frag comes through for paiN, but Elige immediately swings around, takes him down, leaving only PKL and Safe standing.
Safe taking a shot with the Scout, looking to do some damage, allow PKL perhaps a chance to mop a couple players up with the Desert Eagle in hand, but paiN are not committing to this retake. Instead, they seem committed to just save these guns into the next round, which is interesting because they should have enough money to buy into the next round too. But they're just bailing out. PKL's all the way down towards long bathrooms. Safe is up towards Divider, Grims and Khan, and he might get the kill on towards Safe. He's going to cross down to Khan. Perhaps they're going for exits here? I'm not so sure. PKL now knows where Grim is, and he's going to try and go take this fight, but overall, I'm a little confused as to what the game plan was from paiN.
I think just going for exits, they're trying to do damage to the economy of Liquid, which is quite precarious, to be honest. You have 4 players below the 1k mark, only Elige comfortable at 2.5k before that bomb explodes, and now he's at 6, of course. On the paiN side, PKL, yeah, he's not going to use that Scout, obviously, but was just hanging on to it. See if he can find a frag. Stewie here, that was a great frag to open things up, and then Elige finds that follow-up. So, Liquid continues. So far, only giving up in IEM Fall 3 rounds. Make that 5 rounds to paiN Gaming.
Yeah, not too much, but I think that's going to grow a little bit, especially when we get on towards Nuke. Still, the early days of this match. Early days of this map. In comes Safe, though. He's got the off hand, a good flashbang from Liquid, but Safe is still around. This is a critical shot, and Fallen will punish. Fallen gives Safe a little bit of a lesson there. Don't overcommit. Don't stick your head out too far. Big U, however, trying to catch the timing on Naf. He gets a tag and he gets the frag. Big U spring away on towards Grim, who has been spotted out towards Connector, but Grim still lives. 4v3 in the favor of Liquid. In the meantime, Elige is clearing up through long. He spots out one. It's going to be PKL once again towards Bank, but Elige does not need to commit. He's just going to back away. The bomb is back towards T-Connector, and Liquid can go wherever they want with this positioning and the man advantage, but their utility is getting a little low. They only have 4 flashes, a couple smokes, and a nade to play with, no Molotovs. But then you look at paiN. 1 incendiary is all they have to work with.
Yeah, that's not too good. I mean, you're on the CT side, so it's not as bad as if you were on a T side with only a Molotov, but still, they're going to have to just win these gunfights. When you look up at who you're up against. Grim going to get the headshot on PKL. Big U and Hardzao, the last 2 standing. And they might just go for the save here because there's really no money at all on the paiN side. And you see, yeah, they're not really engaging here. They're not interested on the fight at the A site. They're already backing off, and Hardzao with that AWP, yeah, you just can't afford to throw that one away. So Liquid will cruise on forward to a 6th round victory.
Yeah, this is a good, strong T-sided start from Team Liquid. And for paiN, they got to be wondering what's going on. Liquid, in the last 3 months, have only won 36.7% of their T rounds. Granted, it's only across 2 maps of the map, but it's their CT side where Liquid are really incredibly strong on Overpass, not on T. And paiN, the much safer about them, that 60.7% round growth rate on CT side. They are getting bullied by Liquid, and Hard's out. The nice little double swing there, the jump. Completely pulls the crosshair off the players, and Liquid making sure there's nothing saved for paiN into this round.
Yep.
It's quickly becoming a little painful right now for the Brazilian squad, and Liquid don't even look like they're doing too much. They're almost just defaulting around, not even going for too much hard strat. They're just getting their picks and working off of it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It doesn't look like Liquid's having to work very hard to find these round victories. In fact, well, they haven't been tested much by paiN, so I'm not sure if this round's going to really change much with 4 pistols and the UMP-45 for PKL. But we'll have to wait and see. That said, if you want to talk a little bit more about Overpass for Liquid, they are 9-3 so far in 2021 on it, with 190 rounds for, 156 rounds against, and a plus 34 round differential. That's against very high-level competition, of course, honestly. And then you look over at paiN, they just reintroduced Overpass into their pool. They had banned it 20 times in a row until switching to Mirage and deciding they didn't want to play that. As Grim is going to get that opener while I was talking on PKL, so there's the UMP-45 down, 5v4. But just to finish my thought there, on Overpass, they played it 13 times so far in 2021, 7-6, and a plus 13 round differential. So, you know, average map for them, and it really has been up and down, especially at the beginning when they had just reintroduced it into their pool.
And the thing is, too, there's a gulf of competition that Liquid's up against versus the competition that paiN has been playing on a regular basis. So Liquid's stellar performance on the map across the year is a lot more than... Oh, yeah, Nikki's so disappointed here, but he's going to get... Oh, the Deagle! The Deagle betrays him in the end. That is unfortunate for Nikki's. And, well, what could have been a lot more in terms of damage potentially around does not end up going the way of paiN. That's that new Deagle coming into effect there, John. I'm pretty sure he hit 3 shots to the body.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely having an impact. Honestly, I still feel like the Deagle's really powerful on the body shots, but there are certain instances, like right there, where you can see that slight nerf having an impact on the outcome for the round. Liquid, though, they're up to 7. Again, not too fussed on that one, but paiN will be back on the rifles here with the AWP, the M4A4, the AUG, and the 2 A1Ss. Safe. Trying to go for that quick peek towards Fountain, but again he's pushed off by an excellent piece of utility, that flashbang thrown right in his eyes. Grim into Monster. He is joined by Naf, and he will have a lot of company soon. In fact, almost all of Liquid is with him, and it will be everyone once Elige arrives on the scene. Naf, Grim, right on board is also the utility. That Molotov will... I mean, I thought it was going to make it tough for Liquid to come on forward, but there's a frag for Grim. Hardzao finds the trade. Smoke comes on through onto the Molotov, and right now things appear to have slowed down considerably. Team Liquid taking their time.
Yeah, no reason to rush. Still over a minute on the clock, although that is swiftly going to turn below. But still, they have a lot of control. They have a 4v4 situation. Their utility's a little lower, so they're going to have to look more out of the aim situations. Stewie, speaking of which, goes down below. He catches up a blind player. PKL team flashes a couple players, but it's going to go back to the favor of paiN as the kills stack in their direction. Elige, though, in a 1v2. He's got the first and knows the bomb, as he also knows where Safe is. Up the box he goes. Stomps down on Safe. Hits him in the head. And Team Liquid get the op back in the hands of Fall and get another round on the board. And that is Elige bullying paiN in that situation right there.
Elige just looks so good right now. I mean, that's great news for Liquid, of course, as they head into that major. Hopefully he can keep his form, but yeah, look at this. I mean, beautiful headshot. 2K, then the third one. No hesitation at all when he jumped up, and Safe had just hit a no-scope and tagged him. But really, when you're feeling that confidence, well, you can make plays like that. Elige gonna toss a flashbang in towards Fountain. And, of course, Liquid have already taken the lead into this second half with that 8th round victory. Stewie walking up here. He has to be careful. Utility's out. Might try to peek it now that they've seen that Molotov come through, but Stewie, very aware, as always, backs off right after the Molotov is thrown to make sure he doesn't get immediately deleted by that untimely peek. Elige gets one, but here comes Stewie, and he does go down Hardzao. Okay, AK upgrade for Hardzao now. 4v4, and I think PKL spotted at the foot of Naf. Yep, Naf's been, his position been given away. And they're just going to toss a nade on forward. It's the B-side and connects for a frag. That helps a lot because it looks like Team Liquid are going to A, and Naf in the meantime gets a 3K. Fallen going up against the keys. 3v1 and over. Elige wraps it up 9-1 for Liquid.
There's a B-anchor that is one of the most satisfying and unsatisfying situations where you open up the B site. In the meantime, your team's going to A. So it's like you did all that work for nothing, and yet you also basically just made the round impossible to lose at the same time. It's nice work there from NAF over towards B, just buying all those rotations to keep them on the B side as well. And Liquid, they still committed towards that A take. Got a little messy there, but they finally finished it off. Timeout comes in from paiN. Definitely want to try and slow down the momentum, because since that first gun round, since round number 4, it's been all Liquid. And even before that too. That one round seems like an anomaly as far as the general rounds are concerned. One thing to note too, Safe is leading the charge for paiN, which is very good for them, because when Safe is on, things are usually firing well for paiN. Bigazetta has been their best performer throughout this tournament, 12th overall in terms of rating, 16th in damage, and also tied for 2nd in terms of clutches with Naf and Grim and a couple other players. So definitely a good performance from Bigazetta, but they're lacking that massive performance from him in this game, particularly early on in this matchup. They can get that back and keep Safe firing on all cylinders. Perhaps paiN can start getting some rounds on the board here.
Yeah, I think it's Big U and Hard Zhao usually the supporting cast for Safe, and Nikis can come out and do a lot of damage in clutch situations. But right now, it's just all quiet for paiN. Safe does get the opener here on Grim. He gets tagged down to 89. Safe gonna find a second one for himself, looking for a third, and supported by PKL. Finally, paiN shutting down the pusher, but Naf gets one in response. Maybe Liquid find a second and make this one even closer to 3v2. Safe in the smoke, thinking about the timing, but Naf and Fallen get 2. Here we go, 2v2. Oh man, nicely done for Nikis, who manages to drop Fallen. It's all up to Naf with the AWP. Gets naded down to 71. Naf will find Nikis, makes it a 1v1 again, and still a lot of time left on the clock. Just has to go and grab that bomb, but look at Big U on the flank. He'll take care of business, and paiN do indeed find themselves a second round.
Oh, Big U. Up against Naf. 2 players coming in with some of the most clutches in this tournament. And it's going to be Big U who wins that 1v1 situation. Safe does so much work in towards bathrooms, dancing around one side to the other. The fact that Naf and Fallen are able to pull this back to a 1v1 is absolutely incredible, though. And I think Naf just got a little overconfident, expecting that last player to come through jump up area or bank. Doesn't check his con angle at all. And he gets punished for it there. So for Liquid, they do drop a second round, but for paiN, that's a good round to get. It's a good hard-fought round. And despite it being close, it's some confidence in their favor that they're able to get another one on the board against Liquid. Fallen's been tagged down to 51 early. Naf's going to go towards his shoulder connector walk. He's going to spot out a player back pillar, a little bit of damage, and then fall away. Safe! That is crisp. This is a Safe we missed for the bulk of this tournament too, and it's good to see him start to come back into his form.
Stewie. Never shying away from pushing through a smoke, of course. Staring right down at one. Fallen, waiting at short A. And he has got the big green in his hands. He's going to peek around this corner. Could find himself an opening frag if PKL's timing. He's grabbing the keys. He's actually going to get the first one. Then PKL gets a second on Fallen. And all the bodies are being dropped here by paiN on Liquid. He's around, finds one and only one. Naf, the last one standing, and he will likely be overloaded too. This is what I was going to mention earlier. paiN were shying away from the aggression. I think showing too much respect for Liquid, but now they're coming forward and they're getting the damage done. Naf goes down, and that'll be that.
Yeah, this is the thing too about paiN. If you watch a lot of North American Counter-Strike, particularly Premier, you know paiN loves to be aggressive. You know that's paiN's MO.
Yes.
They will take the fight to you if they're on CT side, it doesn't matter. And Overpass is a map that really gives itself to that CT aggression too. So to see paiN finally coming into their own, finally playing like paiN again, it's very good, and it's been off of the back of Safe's op initially that really started getting them aggressive. Now the rest of the team is starting to find their stride. They're starting to have that confidence once again. A couple rounds in a row against Liquid, who are now on pistols and a hero rifle. So paiN giving themselves an opportunity for a 4th, 5th, and a 6th on the cards here, but PKL, that's a big miss against Fallen. Tries to go for the taps and instead cannot connect it. It's going to be a gun upgrade for Naf as well, but he'll probably toss it over to Grim, Stewie, or Elige, who have armor behind their pistols.
I don't know. Naf's playing pretty well. Maybe he said, you know what, I don't have the armor, but I'm feeling it. Okay, no. He does eventually drop it. It makes sense. That is the best statistical play, and Fallen actually goes down to Safe. Nice shot. 4v4. Of course, paiN have the advantage coming into this round. Fallen had the hero AK, and now that's down onto the ground. I I think that Elige is trying to recover it, and yeah, he'll be able to quite easily as it gets dropped behind that boost spot. So, Team Liquid, having been unable to gain as much space as perhaps they would have liked onto the A site, they're going to rotate around and try for a hit onto B. They do have one player waiting for them there, that's Nikiz. But outside of that, might be in heaven. I think Safe is there. Yeah, Safe in heaven, watching as well. So it's not going to be the easiest of takes, but they do have a smoke and a flash to work with. Use those well. Maybe throw the smoke for heaven and a flash onto the site proper, and you'll be in business. But it looks like they just want to charge in and keep the smoke for a post-plant situation. Safe gets the frag on the leash, looking for a follow-up, and he gets it. Naf is dropped 4v2 in favor of paiN. Grim and Stewie, the last two stand. Can they get the bomb planted? They can, and Stewie finds a frag as well. 3v2, Stewie still trying to fire away, and he does! He gets Hardzao! 2v2, no way. Liquid cannot get this round. paiN have to try to find a way to get it back. Bigu finds one, Stewie in a 1v2. Can he clutch this one out with two more frags? Peeks around the corner, does the damage on Bigu, but can't find Safe. That'll be it. paiN will be able to get to the Fusel, and they pick up a fourth, but still, that one got a lot closer than it should have.
On that swing by Grim, he spots all three players in heaven. So Stewie knows, doesn't have to worry about green door run out. All he has to do is jump up, swing on towards heaven, and do what he can. But Safe is the hero of this round. You can't dry peek Safe when he's on. There he hits 3 shots, gets the 4th with the AK. But that peek from Grim gets all the information they need. Still not enough for Liquid to win the round, but again, that was not a round that came in with much. The hero AK on Fallen was all they really had, and that's what got them the opening kill on a PKO on Bathrooms. That made things a little more messy, that M4A1S in Stewie's hands, getting things a little closer. 2 more rounds in the half, and Liquid already have 9 with the key set of Overpass. Now they have the guns in hand again. PKL and Safe just gonna wait, hold. Good many damage done to Hardzao as well. As Liquid seem to be posturing towards B. Boost up for Grim. He made the noise. Do they still want to commit to this? They will, but Bigu's waiting for this. He knows what's about to happen. It doesn't even matter, John. Grim is online, and Bigu Zeta is gone.
Grim, who's about to get his first ever signature sticker at a major. It's a pretty wicked shot there. He has 9 so far on the board, and Liquid, of course, want to get into double digits here on their T side, and that's a great start. The keys. Comes around the corner, looks into Monster, doesn't spot out anything, but decides to throw the smoke for good measure. Still a minute left on the clock, so Liquid could easily rotate around back to the A site should they choose to, and it looks like that will be the call. At least they're going to have a look to see what's going on over there. But coming back to A means you have to face off against Safe. He's already punished here a couple of rounds ago here in these short bathrooms.
Smoke goes in, Safe's aggressive. This is a dangerous spot, John, but if he can get 2 kills, it's definitely more than worth it. He does have PKL with him as well, but PKL's fallen. Safe has to go to the sidearm. Liquid aren't ready for this at all, but Stewie, or rather Grim, turns around at the wrong possible time. He does not catch out the Opera, who's now a snake in the grass in the back lines. There is no safe plant for Liquid. They just have to hold, surrounded by enemies, but in comes the run from Khan. That's going to be fallen, and he expects Safe in the bathrooms area. Safe is clearing out, though. Does he clear the right angle? No, he does not. He gets caught from behind by Fallen, and that's almost going to signal the end of the round in the favor of Liquid. Hardzao and Nikiz might just be saving here because their team's money, despite winning 3 straight, is gone, and Liquid should grab double digits.
Oh, nicely done for Liquid. They keep paiN on 4. Actually, looking back all the way towards that March matchup, I did say it's a while ago, 6 months ago, Hardzao does get one on Stewie, so the exit's going to come through. I'm just going to back to the action here. Looks like Hardzao will get dropped, and the keys could go down as well. He doesn't. So one A1S is going to get saved over here, but Team Liquid still find double digits, of course, heading into the 15th and final round of this half. But yeah, back to that DreamHack Open BO3. It did go paiN's way, but on Overpass, Liquid dominated 16-4. So still a possibility that they could repeat that here against paiN. But I think that paiN has really picked up their game over these last few rounds, Austin.
They have. They've definitely started to improve. They've definitely started to impress. But this is the favorite set of Overpass for both of these sides as well, which is important to note. And Liquid have a potential 11-4 half over paiN. Dave still does have his op, which is something good, and Grim's been chunked down, probably will be naded after that. Yep, there he goes, Nikiz. It's a good opening for paiN. Confidence, too. Can they get this into a round win? Because 10-5 is a whole lot more comfortable than 11-4. But in comes the hit towards B. Stewie flashed in. distracting the players. That's going to cube into a couple players over towards short side bridge. One will drop on the pick. That's going to be Nikki's, and behind the fire they'll go. Naps on site, holding out towards short. Dodges the flashbang, but in they come. Running through, it's hard Zao with one. Bigu Zeta has another fallen, trades it back, and he's still scoped in, but it's a 2v4 in the favor of paiN Gaming. Elige has been spotted as well. Fallen, however, gets another, but he's traded out quickly. Elige, 1v3, 1v2, he's taken out safe. He knows where Nikki's is, but he's not going to spray him down. Nikki's from Pit has the MP9, has Elige, and a 5th round from paiN. We'll hit to a break, and half number 2 will be in just a moment. To 1/2. It still ends very solid for them, getting 10 rounds on the T side, but paiN battled back, getting 4 of the last 5 rounds to bring it to a 5-10 score line. They have the T side now, John. There are no slouches on T, but Liquid are known for a stalwart defense on overpass.
They absolutely are. But, like you said, paiN can be a very aggressive team here on their T side and very effective with that aggression. So we'll have to see if it pans out for them. It looks like Liquid, well, they're trying to take the space as well. They've already gone into water, looking into Monster. They are a moment late, so they won't see the first 3 that crossed over, but they will see Bigu and PKL. There is one for Naf spotted out, and probably the second as well. In the meantime, though, paiN move on to the site, and Safe gets the opener on Grim. Elige getting spammed down, and Bigu finds him. Hardzao dropping Stewie. All the bodies falling here for Liquid. And it's all paiN. Fallen and Naf are going to have to try and go for this retake, but honestly, there really isn't much space for them to work with. Naf will be able to get one at the very least, but you see Liquid kind of falling off here, trying to save the body armor at this point.
Yeah, that's a change that I like to see, actually, out of a lot of teams, is trying to save that body armor, because it can value your force buy in the next round so much more, giving you a lot more money to spend on rifle or SMG and utility instead of having to reinvest that 650 into armor again. Oh, Fallen's going to get a little bit more. Naf will as well. Neckies will actually take out Naf instead, so it's all down to Fallen trying to save his vest. But it seems his mithril coat will not save him this time. paiN will eliminate every single saving player from Liquid, get themselves the pistol round, and start to close that gap. Liquid, though, will probably still try and force up into this round, try and take it away from paiN before getting guns in plenty and a couple more. Actually, maybe they are going to go for the full save and get guns in round number 3. A1S does change the game a little bit.
A lot of respect being shown for the paiN side. It did qualify for the major, so certainly good enough to deserve that respect. 3 AKs, a Galil, and the MAC-10 for the paiN side. Liquid are stacking up towards this A site. If paiN have one player walk on to B, they'll find out it's free and clear for the taking, and will likely end up planting the bomb there. And it looks like PKL is going to be lurking around B, so if he charges forward and paiN are patient, they'll be able to get the job done over there.
I do like this bathroom stack from Liquid. They can definitely get a couple kills with the USPs, and Naf will actually get a dink on the back of Nicholas's head. But here comes Safe. It's his time to farm with the AK. Spraying away, finally catches off one. Grim has eliminated Hard Zhao in the meantime, however. A side is wide open for paiN. They'll get the bomb down, but Fallen's going to drop the AK. Keys comes in, but he is low. Remember, he's gone too. Liquid can actually win this round. The bomb is yet to go down. There's plenty of time for the retake, and there's the utility now picked up for Team Liquid. Grim has a nade and a flashbang. Naf has a smoke. He is low, but he might want to toss that AK over to Grim, as he has full HP, or relatively close, the most of any of his team. Big Zeta is posting up inside green door, keeping an eye on the stairs run. They're going to go through heaven from the looks of things. Flash is going in. Big Zeta is going to pop on out, but here comes PKL. Set to shine. Nade goes out. Big U's here as well. Has the first. PKL at a second. Big U gets the last. So Liquid's last ditch onslaught will amount to nothing, but they still did a considerable amount of damage. 3 kills in that round is not too shabby.
Yeah, I can't blame them for going for that at all, because they only brought USPSs into that round. And yeah, 3 frags given, nothing bought up, is excellent for Liquid. So paiN get the round. It's expensive for them. As a result, you see Nikis, Bigu, and PKL all below the 1K mark, and even Hard Zhao, because he just bought up his last piece of utility. So, over on Liquid, got A1Ss across the board. No more A4s in sight.
I like this.
Yep. Elish, waiting at party. Might get spotted out here by Nikis, but no. He backs off the position and timing, and well, speaking of timing, it is not in paiN's favor.
Not at all. Elish is just going to wait and hold. He has Fallen hold in the back lines here. Pretty standard lane setup here from Liquid. Nothing too fancy. They don't have a lot of utility to work with, so they do have to play a little more passive. Do have a rotation from Naf coming out to the A side, though, to bolster the defenses, and it's going to be a long take from paiN as they start to creep their way in through long bathrooms. Elish will go back in. He will not be found out yet, however, and he'll just retreat towards site. Passive hold from Liquid now as the time ticks down to below 50 seconds on the clock. Elish, jump peeking out towards long, will continue to aggress now as Fallen joins up with him. paiN can very well get caught out by this push-up long if they don't use utility to clear the corner. He's going to jump up. They know where he is, and Elise has the first. Make it 2 for him. Fallen getting the assist on both. Both players taking a lot of damage, but they still have a 2-minute advantage now for their squad. They basically figured out exactly what paiN want to do. Naf's going to rotate up towards Bank. He's going to spray down the keys. Elise is going to pop back from long, but Naf gets 2. Looking for the 3rd. And PKL will only live for a moment in time as it's Elise to finish the job. Fallen flashing in for help. And Liquid get that first gun round in flawless fashion. That long double play, though, was fantastic, not to mention Naf's hold from Bank.
Yeah, Elish with 3. Like you mentioned, Naf finding 2 from Bank, and that's just a excellent A hold by Liquid. Timely aggression coming through, and they pick up their 11th, ending the round win streak for paiN Gaming at 2. And as a result, because you remember that round where Liquid got 3 frags with only USPSs, that has had an impact, of course, on this buyout for paiN. Heading into round number 19, because they only have 2 Deagles, the P250, the CZ, and the Scout. It will be a force buy as well. They're going to try and make work, but this is Liquid's opportunity to jump up to 12 rounds on the board. PKL is going to grab that bomb, as paiN are poised to head towards this A site for the time being.
Another A hit for paiN. Didn't have too much success on it last time. But this is a different try, and perhaps it can get a little more damage at the very least in this round. There's a full investment from paiN, and if Liquid win, they will get up to about 13 rounds, as paiN should not have anything to buy within the next unless they save something here. Fallen going for a jump peek. We'll have to reposition, as he's really the main defender here on this A site. Elise holding much more passive here, waiting for a bathroom's run. Oh, Fallen, he spots one. There goes the comm. Now they know. Players have been spotted long. They cannot expect anything besides an A hit, unless paiN decide to run back through con towards B. In comes the smokes, in comes the utility, as paiN are ready to go onto the site. Molotovs drop down. The hit is ready, but the time is dwindling down for paiN. They have to go quickly, they have to go soon. There's 3 players of Liquid here to meet them. Elige and Naf swing for 2. One apiece. Naf has actually fallen, but Elige trades it back. PKL with a nice deagle shot. Might at the very least facilitate a bomb plant for his side. PKL is still holding. Big Uzena gets the bomb down, and he drops Fallen to boot. He's taking a lot of damage, but it's a 2v2 now, and paiN have a chance to win it. Now a 1v2. It's all down to Grim. Big Uzena and PKL both at half HP. It's a very good crossfire setup from the 2 Brazilians as well. Grim swings for the 1. Does he swing around? He does, but PKL finds him crouched in the corner, and paiN win their force buy.
Ooh, that was not what I was expecting after the way that round started. But a great job by PKL and Bigu, who managed to pick up an 8th round victory for paiN. So despite the fact that Liquid had the significant advantage in terms of hardware and firepower, it just wasn't enough. And now they're going to be on the half buy. 3 Deagles, the USPS, and the A1S bought up by Naf. So we got a hero A1S at the very least, and Naf is going to be positioned towards long A with that. Nade going to fly through, connects on Stewie, takes him down to 63 HP, and paiN, well, they've already positioned themselves up. Stewie could get a couple of shots here. No, immediately deleted by Nikiz. Nikiz charges on forward towards that B site. Eagle shots rattled off by Grim, but Grim eventually gets taken down. Elige found 1 in the mix, but 4v3 in favor of paiN. At least an AK picked up off the ground for Fallen. Maybe he'll be able to do some damage with that. They hear the bomb being planted. Fallen takes this opportunity to charge on forward. Gets 1, trying to flick around for a second. Can he find it? Safe going around, and Naf through the smoke connects on safe. Touchdown for Nikiz to get Fallen, but it's a 2v2, and maybe Team Liquid going to win an unexpected round here in turn. Hard Zhao, though, managed to take care of Elige, and only Naf left standing with the A1S, and he will go down too. Great hold by paiN, despite the pressure that was put on by Team Liquid.
Withstand the pressure well, and that gap is slowly closing down. Only 2 rounds now separating these 2 teams, and Liquid are going to buy up once further. An op in the hands of Naf might very well get tossed to Fallen, although I believe Naf is going to hold on to it, nearly going and go for that Fountain Peak. He does have the spawn for it. Fallen is limited to a Deagle in this round, so the money situation for Liquid is still not the best, despite some relative success in that last round. In comes Naf, though. He's got the first pick. Elige with a flash assist there, but no way Nikiz is living, blind or not. That's a fast shot from Naf. He does love to pick up that op, and he's definitely shining with it in this round so far. He repositions over towards long, too, making sure paiN cannot go that direction. Bombs down in connector, so paiN definitely don't exactly have a set play just yet in mind, but they've already started heading things off on the back foot. Now, Big U gets needed down to 54 HP. Things are getting a little more bleak for paiN in this round.
Artzal going to toss an 8 into connector flashbang as well. The utility flying forward for paiN. And they do have Big U waiting right in front of Fountain. No information gained as of yet, but there are 2 Team Liquid members waiting in short bathrooms. One of them, a very dangerous Elige. He's going to peek around this corner. Gets one. Trying to get another one. And he finds it. Bigu goes down. 4v2 in favor of Team Liquid. Hard Zhao charging on forward into the short bathrooms, falling right around the corner, but it's Elige again to strike for a third. PKL, the last one standing, and Elige goes for the 4K. It's actually Fallen coming around this corner, and PKL does manage to take him down. 1v3, 1v2. Why are they peeking one at a time? Liquid getting a little impatient unnecessarily, and now Stewie will take his time to find the last one. Got a little scary.
Oh yeah, that's the good old-fashioned peek one at a time, throw the round because you did scenario right there. Liquid do salvage it in the end. Dewey gets the backstab, but things got a little questionable there in the middle portion. A likely chance they could have faded away. paiN, they don't have a lot of money to reinvest here. They'll probably be better served to save fully. Glocks, a little bit of utility are in their hands, and belts, not even an upgraded pistol. They want to have full guns again, give Liquid that 13th, but look for their 10th with good, strong buys behind them. A con play is always what you can always pull off the pistol buys such as this, but Elige decides he has other ideas. Nap will come through with the MP9, and Fallen shotgun on the op, gets a lot of nade damage on his retreat, but he's got a bit of a wry smile there, knowing he got a little lucky.
Man, Elige just doesn't even need to farm the anti-ecos, of course, to build up his stats because he was already playing really well, but now he is just flying high at the top of the scoreboard. 26 and 12 with an ADR of 109.
Yep. Look at Naf though, 106.
Yeah.
Not far behind.
I mean, yeah, it's been Naf and Elige, as mentioned earlier. Those are the two players who have been popping off the Liquid time and time again. And of course, well, this first map against paiN is no exception. Is Team Liquid's pick, excuse me, for those of you just tuning in. Next one will be paiN's pick on Nuke.
Fallen, he's not going to go too aggressive with the op. Instead, he's actually holding from short in towards connector. But look, very passive on the CT side for the most part. They haven't gone terribly aggressive. And it's interesting because paiN have been able to take advantage of it in some scenarios. But Liquid still are content to hold back, more passive, waiting for paiN to use the bulk of their utility, which paiN did not have a lot of in this round. Only down to a couple flashbangs now. Make it 5. Utility shuffled around primarily on Big Zeta now. Gonna take towards long. Nobody's watching it though for Liquid. Nav holds just behind that divider with the MP9. Elige jump peeking on sight. But now Liquid are going to start to get a little antsy. Fallen clearing up through sewers with Grim. Perhaps a boost comes through from those two. But as the clock ticks down to 34, Naf is really going to have to be hard-pressed to hold this lane. Tosses down the Molotov, timing things well. Going to buy a little bit more as paiN are playing this very, very slow. This 2015 Na'Vi-like, or I guess you could say godsend to this current era. Agent Nap waiting for the swing, but it's going to be Nap the first contact. Swings for 1. Stewie's there to back him up. 2 more kills. Elige coming in, waiting for that smoke to fade. Bigu spammed by Stewie in the meantime, though. And safe. What can he do in a 1v5 as the time is in the red? 4, 3, 2, 1. And after time.
Oh, no. Jeez, especially when you're down 14-9 and you really do need to get that money up and running in the following round. That means, look, Safe is going to be on a rough buy into the next round. Everyone else should be able to get the rifles, but for him, it'll likely be an SMG. Look, you can make it work. It's just a very tough situation to find yourselves in, given how things have gone here in the second half. Liquid extend their lead to 5, though, and they've got the op once more for Fallen, charging up towards Fountain. He's looking for that early pick, of course. And now a good smoke thrown by paiN to isolate him, but he does go over the top of it to have a peek and see what's happening. That said, Nikis has already pushed in towards Party. And if Fallen's not careful, he will get spotted out. And of course he knows his time is up. It's time to back off and go in to a defensive mode onto that A site. Fallen. Not going to spot any targets yet, and it looks like paiN are taking their time.
Surprisingly enough, as they're all on P250s, they don't really want to aggress too fast here. They're just holding the line, waiting for aggression, clearing all their corners. You might assume with the pistols, they'd probably want to go a little faster, but they're still taking it slowly but surely, moving around the map. Still a lot of time for paiN. They're all congregated out towards A once again. But Elige and Fallen are here. The op is back in Fallen's hands, and Elige, he's been such a menace. There's been no getting by him. Perhaps they want to rotate down towards B, John, and try their luck there, because they haven't really gone B all too often. They've been punishing towards A and getting shut down.
30 seconds left, though. And really no utility here for paiN. All they've got are P250s across the board. Not sure what they have in mind, but they're going to have to make it work. Stewie, waiting at pillar. Could get a farm of frags here. There's Grim with one. Stewie only with one, but it's Grim who in fact finds them all. 4K for Grim. 15-9 in favor of Liquid. They are on map point.
Grim will love those tasty eco frags. He just feasted out a buffet there. It's a good confidence boost. And also, you know, you might disparage people who get a lot of eco frags. It minimizes the casualties your team is going to have. There, only one casualty for Liquid. They're able to reinvest fully, especially if the scoreline's a lot tighter too. Those casualties really can come back and be a lot more impactful. So it's just a little anecdote to note about how eco frags are not so unimportant as they may seem on the surface. Legion towards Khan, though, going very aggressive. He's not going to be the first one to fall. It's going to be Stewie instead, but Elige will trade it back on a PKO at the very least. But they know where he is now in Big U. Corner Elige, he has a flash, or at least he predicts one. He goes and he swings onto Big U. Second kill for him in the round. One man up are Liquid now in a 4v3.
Elige knows that someone is lurking in this smoke, and he's being very cautious about how he approaches here. Waiting for the smoke to fade. There's a nade that gives away the position of Hardzal. Of course, Elige's going to swing this, and he goes down. Hardzal finds the frag. 3v3. Numbers haven't evened out. paiN still has the bomb on their backs. In fact, Safe going to grab that one. Safe gonna have a peek towards sandbags. Naf is playing a very tight angle here, so we'll see if Safe can exploit this. But again, paiN taking their time. It looks like they're gonna wait again for the 30-second mark to go for their execute.
They've done this about, what, 4 rounds in a row now? Waiting until about the 30-second mark?
Yeah, it's not something you usually see from them. Usually a lot faster on their play.
Yeah, I'm surprised what they're trying to change up, and that's a big punish from Naf. Grim mops at the last, and Liquid 16-9 over paiN on their map pick of Overpass. John, things were a little shaky there at the beginning of that half, but Liquid stabilized things once again.
Yeah, honestly, it was a great job by Liquid to shut them down while paiN was looking threatening there for a moment.
Yes, indeed, folks. We're going to look back over this map in just a minute, analyze things after a short break. Liquid didn't really show too many signs of weakness there.
No, absolutely not. I mean, there was, like we mentioned, a brief moment where paiN, off of a pistol round victory, were able to build up a few rounds, but then Liquid came storming on back, and Elish, just unbelievable. We're going to definitely see him in this highlight reel. Nath as well, some great damage done. You saw with the Deagle there. And just a great effort across the board from Liquid, as we would expect from them against paiN. So up here, 1-0, heading on over to Nuke. But it's the Team Liquid we want to see for sure.
Yeah, Nuke still worries me. I'm not 100% sold on Liquid winning Nuke against paiN, but if they can play the way they did here on Overpass, they should have a good shot at it. Nap was incredible, Op and rifle in his hand. Stewie had some very good support plays, Fallen as well, leading the team, and Grim, he had his moments as well. Not that one right there in particular, but there were some good moments, especially on that anti-eco round number, I would say is about round number 25 or so. Overall, Liquid, they played strong on their attack, took advantage of paiN's passivity early on, and then onto the defense, Liquid didn't actually play too aggressive, which I thought was a little strange. But they still got the job done in the end. They won things back, and it was some hero plays that really got things going. There's a Elish and Naf really to close things out again, and that really is what happened in that match so far. It was Elish and Naf getting multi-kills in situations where they probably should have been one and done, and really making things easy for their team.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen when we jump over to Nuke, of course, because Liquid aren't necessarily bad on it. It's been a bit of a struggle as of late against pro-level teams at 10 and 12 and a -3 round differential, but I do believe that's going to be a different story against paiN. Although paiN, we've seen them before dominate on both sides of the map, of course, in particular the T side. If they come through with that aggression that we usually see, they will be quite powerful and potent, assuming Liquid can't shut it down, right?
Yeah, that's the thing too. Liquid can very well shut them down once they get used to it. They have some incredible players, and I'm assuming Fallen's Op on Nuke will be very mobile on the map, trying to pick off these paiN players, so I don't think there's going to be too much room for paiN to get too comfortable, but they still can take the opportunities given to them. Get a couple picks, work around the map, see if they can sweat Liquid out of positions, and then take advantage of their own individual skill, which is still very good.
Yeah, Safe had some moments where he looked quite solid with the Op on CT side, maybe a little slower on the T side, but still, yeah, all of their players have had flashes, but only flashes of brilliance, with Liquid being able to shut them down and stymie them whenever they were tested.
Can Liquid shut them down on Nuke, or is paiN going to send us to a third? Find out after the break. We'll be back.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose teen badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
5 years, the Lanxess Arena of Cologne has been the about competitive Counter-Strike. The favourites coming into the tournament have just unlocked the intel of the air, and now they're pushing on.
Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night and never day. Even when I wash the floor, the dust still comes. Keep on hunting for the bread. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm, far from calm. I know you feel me, brother. Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night, it's never day. Even when I watch the floor, the dust will come. Keep on hunting for the prey. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm, far from calm. I know you feel me, brother.
Liquid hold on to their map pick with some strong performances from Elysian Nap, but now we go to a map which Liquid have struggled on immensely, and paiN do find themselves with a very solid record on. We're on our way to Nuke.
I wouldn't say they struggled immensely though, Austin, but yes, there have been some struggles on Nuke, of course. Excuse me, for Liquid. The thing is, they get to start on CT side, right? Because it's paiN's pick. So I think they will still have the edge coming into Nuke. CT side can be, of course, much more potent on a map like Nuke, but we'll have to see if paiN can come out with their usual T-side dominance.
That's the thing Liquid need to keep an eye on. I'm looking to that pistol round to really be a trendsetter too if paiN want to get aggressive again, because we saw paiN be very passive on Overpass, and if that same trend continues onto Nuke, I don't know if paiN will have what it takes to eventually take a late hit onto a bomb set against Liquid because of how strong those players are individually.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll have to wait and see once everything gets underway, but I really do feel like paiN have an opportunity here to really assert their dominance on a map like Nuke and start to get their rhythm going. It's just going to be tough. Like I said from the beginning, it's going to be an uphill climb for paiN against Liquid, regardless of the map that they end up on.
It really is, although Nuke, I think, is the best possible option for paiN. This is their one chance to take away a map, I think, in this series, as Vertigo would most definitely go the way of Liquid, particularly given their last score of 16-4. So, right now, for paiN, this is your stand, this is your home, and this is your castle. You have to defend it. You have to pick up this map against Liquid, or else you're finishing in 4th. Yes, you still qualified for the major, but there is some pride at stake here. You do want to be able to take something off of Liquid, especially priming up to go to the major. That'll be a big confidence boost for them.
Yeah, and I actually want to touch a little bit more on what you mentioned, Overpass and Vertigo. I like the way that Liquid played this veto, right? And the way they banned their maps, because they went for Overpass. They knew they've already beaten paiN on Vertigo, and Vertigo's one of the best maps in their pool, if not the best. So they say, you know what? We don't think that paiN is going to ban this, so why don't we pick Overpass, try to punish pick it, because we know that they just started playing it recently, and then wait for Vertigo at the end, and it worked out perfectly for them. Nuke, sure, might be a little bit tough, but they're still comfortable playing on it, and and have played it 22 times so far in 2021. So,
And the thing is, they're not going to ban Nuke over Ancient, especially against paiN. So that's just something that's not going to happen. Ancient is going to get banned by Liquid every single time in a veto. So considering that they are hamstrung in that regard, this is definitely a very wise play on the vetoes by Liquid, and it does set themselves up very nicely in terms of their map advantages too. And you know, too, when you said Vertigo is a really good map for Liquid, it's a really good map for paiN. paiN aren't going to ban that ever, really. So it's the bit of the overlap that comes in when you do get to the higher stages of competition as well, where it just comes down to who is better on that map at what given time you have the match at. So right now for Liquid, they're just looking to settle into Nuke, see what they can do on their CT side. Let's see though, paiN, that CT side strong, but that T side, over a 50% win rate on their T side rounds is something that not a lot of teams can say.
no, definitely not. And yeah, they are that good for sure on their T side of Nuke, at least at the Premier level, right? We're going into a match where they're playing a Tier 1 team, right? So it's going to be a little more difficult as we jump in to the map on Nuke. paiN starting on their T side, and Liquid going to try and shut them down at every turn on CT.
Here we go. Pistol round about to commence. paiN on the T side. Nade, flash, and smoke. No dual Berettas for Liquid. Instead, a kit and a double flash setup for Stewie. Everyone else holding on to some armor. paiN ready to bust in on towards the A side. Nade blows down the door. Smoke for Mini and a flash at the A pop if they want to use it. But paiN are content to wait out and see if Liquid want to get aggressive themselves. And, well, Liquid are going to get aggressive. paiN walking in through Trophy. 2 quick kills. A Legion Nap are found. And look at PKL on the flank. He's going to cap off another. Grim's taking a lot of damage, and paiN are playing this pistol round excellently. Liquid are walled out of the B site. And now it's all down to Stewie, who doesn't have much of a hope in this round as he's sandwiched around by paiN players. Big U's revealed his own position there. And, well, Big U's going to win that duel. Not a kill for Liquid. And a fast play by paiN gets them going here.
Yeah, paiN have actually been pretty good on the pistol rounds. Obviously losing the first one thanks to an incredible 3K by Stewie, but the second one, very dominant in the second half of Overpass, of course. And right here, that was great. Didn't lose a single body, and that's exactly how you want to start your T side on Nuke. Liquid, on the other hand, are going to force up. They're going to get 2 scouts and 3 deagles, along with 4 smokes and a flashbang. We'll see how they decide to use those. In the meantime, though, paiN, well, they're buying up. They've already got 3 rifles up and running, 2 AKs, and a Galil. As Fallen waits with the scout, and he tags PKL. Then after the smoke connects on him. Wow. 5v4. That's a MAC-10 on the ground, if Liquid want to get it, but Niki's on the other hand does find Stewie over in the ramp room, so that's going to clear out a little bit of space for paiN. Fallen in hell, goes down into Niki's. And now a 4v3, and you look at paiN, they're rotating into the A site, catching Team Liquid off guard.
Well, Grim's picked up one on the deagle, looking for a second. He knows where Hard Zao is, but the Flames are going to chase Grim through the squeaky door and take him down about half of his health. Niki's is still holding on top of Hut, so if he wants to push through, it's going to be a difficult player to deal. But look what Naf's picked up, and look what he has. He has armor and an AK, a lot of utility. He's making quite a bit of racket outside, though, so I'm sure that Safe has all the sound cues for his squad. Doesn't look like Naf wants to actually push too heavily into this one. Grim's going to come in, though, and he's going to be punished early. Up goes Elige, though, perhaps looking for an exit outside of Heaven. Nobody's going to walk out his way just yet. Hard Zao very well may exit this way. And if he does, Elige kill. There it goes. Free kill for Elige. But it's just exits that Liquid are looking for and saving that AK on Naf. 2-0 the start in favor of paiN.
Yeah, probably a tougher round than paiN would have liked. And it was the same story, of course, on Overpass in the second round where they won it. But they still keep a couple of rifles up and running, the AK and the Galil. And they will be able to buy up another AK, but it's going to be a little tougher for Hard Zao and Bigu, obviously, as they're going to have to settle for the SMGs or Galil. And it's going to be 2 MAC-10s to round at the buy. Looking over at Liquid, well, they'll still have 3 deagles. USPS for Fallen wants to save for that AWP, and Naf with the AK saved on forward from that previous round. Molotov going to get thrown by Naf towards Squeaky. paiN. Quick hits towards the A site. Looks like they stalled out in lobby for the time being.
Don't want to push through the fire or the spray of bullets Naf was sending down range. He's going to rotate out from Mini back towards Credit Card, however, and keep an eye on the Hut drop. Safe is going to walk through red box, might try and flank in through garage or even down the secret stairwell. And as paiN start to work around the map, that's a big win by Safe, taking out Naf, the AK, and armor, and not really taking much damage either. It's going to open up a lot of room here for paiN, rather. Fallen only able to get one on the USP. Stewie now left alone, wondering what happened and what he has to do now. Working his way up around the B ramp area. He's is waiting for him to peek, but Stewie has other ideas. That's a nice how do you do. He'll grab the AK, rotate around, probably try and save it once again. Tosses a Molotov back towards Trophy and Bobby here. That's a very interesting way to throw that.
So Stewie just going to save the AK into the next round. paiN doing a pretty good job so far against Liquid, but they will be facing off against the first full-on buy-up in this next round. So they do build up those 3 rounds, which is certainly, I would say, halfway to the point of where you need to be on a T side of Nuke to be in good shape, which is this round. But still need to win a few more, of course, to get there. And Liquid, well, they're not going to make it easy. You can be sure of that.
Not at all. And this is where Liquid's buy is going to come through as well. paiN taking a little bit of casualties in these last couple rounds. It's not going to make things the best for their own economy. But Liquid have the op for Fallen, plenty of utility on their rifles. A kit for Naf as well. And Stewie will pick one up too, so they won't be kitless here. paiN have plenty of utility as well. Safe relegated to a Galil. Not the op he would like to have in hand. But if paiN can win this first gun round and do it convincingly, this is where things will get a little messy for Liquid on this first half of Nuke. Again, the pick of paiN, a map which Liquid haven't exactly the best results on as of late. Stewie spraying away, looking for some early contact. He'll go down the vents and get caught out by Elige. Stewie's burning alive, but Grim has hearts out. In comes Nekis, but Grim will trade. Nekis is a second, making a third for Nekis. He's opening up the site. He's got 4, looking for the ace, and he might single-handedly settle this round in the favor of paiN. But Naf is coming around behind, and he spotted out the first. But Nekis, he's gonna ace it out. Win on the board again for paiN. What a hero play from Nekis.
Wow, unbelievable work from Nekis. What a time to find an ace and the team that they find it against. Unbelievable. There he goes, finding Elige, trying to creep through that smoke, and then Naf can't do anything. paiN Gaming with their backs against the wall in the round. Well, all you need is one, and that one is Nekis. 4-0 in their favor. Team Liquid do get the hero up and running in Stewie's hands, but Safe's already spotted out Elige. Stewie charging into Hut, hoping to catch off a player, looking to make his way into Trophy. Hardzao is there. If he doubles back, Stewie could find the opener for his squad here. But Hardzao appears intent on staying in cover for the time being.
Fallen's holding out towards B, the solo player. Hardzao thought about spamming that area, but he's not going to go for it instead. They'll just play a little more passive, waiting for Liquid to get aggressive. More aggressive than Stewie's advanced position, at the very least. And there's a free kill for Stewie on the hero op. He will get away, not unscathed, but relatively so. Only taking 8 points of damage. He'll jump up on Hut and be boosted up in the scaffolding there by Grim. Nice little repositioning there from Liquid. But look at the positioning from PKL. All the information that outer yard is undefended and unwatched. He can walk down towards B. The rest of his team can join up for a B take. Will they still commit towards A? It's looking very likely that they want to, and Stewie's actually rotated down the ramp towards the B site. So the A site take might not be the worst call for paiN. In fact, this is probably the safer one.
Fallen getting an AK, but immediately deleted by Bigu. Grim trying to fight it as well, but Bigu's just too strong right now. Nekis, last one standing. Excuse me, Stewie, last one standing as Nekis finds the frag over on Naf. Look at this. paiN are very lit, but I would favor Stewie a little more if he had the rifle. He will miss the shot. Save connects on him, takes him down to 29, and he goes down at the end of the day. So, nothing really doing for Liquid on that round, as paiN are up to 5. Only 1 round away from what I mentioned would be considered a good T side of Nuke.
Yeah, and we did talk about how good paiN's T side is, and they are definitely showing that off right now. But that was against pistols, relatively speaking, for Liquid. Now here comes another test. Timeout though for paiN. I'm wondering what they want to talk about here. Perhaps they don't want to get too overconfident. That could be the call. The faces look a lot more morose on the Liquid side of things here. Aside from Naf, who basically looks the same whether he's won a 1v5 or is in this sort of situation. But paiN, they don't look too jovial yet, which is a good sign. They don't want to get too big of a head here in the early going.
Yeah, but they certainly have a lot to be happy about. There's no question there. As 4 A1Ss in the op will be bought up here by Liquid. paiN Gaming. Same buy up, just with the AKs instead of the A1s. And, of course, safe on the big green, who hasn't died yet. 7-0 in the first 5 rounds of play. Grim. Looks like he's going to be heading into heaven. And he will be tossing a Molotov immediately towards Squeaky Door. Leash could get first contact. No. He backs into secret, and he will just post up there and wait for the players to push up the outer yard should they choose to go there. Naf spamming through the smoke with the A1S. And right now, paiN, it looks like they're maneuvering inside of lobby. They just want to gain some map control. And now they're going to throw these smokes towards the outer yard. Wall of smoke's coming in.
Fallen's got a nice little pixel angle here, trying to keep an eye on things. If the smoke will negate his vision. Leash, however, is still holding in towards secret. He's going to drop down now, being harassed and naded back further. Fallen looking for a mini walk, but he's not going to get that option either. They're going to challenge the Legion towards secret. If he gets 2 kills off of this, that is more than enough, but he might not even get 1. PKL has the angle on the side. That's the opening that paiN need in this round to run down towards B, but they still have to get past Fallen's op. However, his angle will allow them to cross safely in towards secret. PKL still down the stairwell, however, and he still has a lot more work he can manage. Naf is holding down on B, being grouped up with by Stewie. The door goes open by PKL. It's just all distraction right now from paiN as they're ready to swarm onto the A site. Molotov going to second vents, and the hit is about to commence.
Okay, here they come. Grim could be the difference maker in the round here for Liquid. Fallen gets 1 safe, trades it out. Grim comes around the corner, finds Hearts out. That's the bomb down, but Grim and Fallen are dropped by Bigu, leaving only Naf here in a 3v1. The A site defense, you had the players there if you're Liquid, but they couldn't drop the bodies. Bigu, again, coming out big for his squad. Appropriately enough, right? So yeah. Naf is the last one standing.
This is the paiN Gaming, though, that we all know they can be, John. This is the paiN Gaming that we've seen so many times in North American qualifiers and throughout Premier as well. paiN Gaming, which has so many heavy hitters where anyone can step up and win a round single-handedly. Yep. And if paiN are given this confidence here, it's going to make Vertigo a lot more difficult because, while Liquid might be insane on it, paiN are very good in their own right, and a third map would give paiN a whole new bit of life. Getting a little bit ahead of myself here, I know.
Yeah, a little, maybe, but still. I mean, I do have 6 rounds on their T side. Right off the bat, Liquid hasn't been able to bounce back since losing the pistol round, and now they're on what could be another eco. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a half buy. That's going to come through off of the saved M4 in Naf's hands. All right. They could have been more aggressive. They certainly would have been able to get the A1Ss up and running, but they decided to go for 3 Deagles and the MP9 around the A1S instead. Here comes paiN. They're going into lobby. Might be a quick hit onto the A site. Here they come. Naf goes down. 2 Hearts out, and it will be a 5v3 now as Nikiz also finds Grim. Spamming through the smoke was one more as safe drops Fallen. 5v2, fast and furious action here with only Stewie and Elige left standing on this A site. 108 HP combined amongst them, and paiN full control.
Let's put a flesh wound on Stewie. Let's see what he can do here. He spots out one, but he gets taken down in due turn. Overkill from PKL, and a 7-0 start for paiN on their T side. This is looking very similar to how Liquid started things off on Overpass, except for the fact that paiN kind of broke that streak in the early going on that first gun round. Liquid have not been able to crack open their goose egg yet. They have another buy coming forth here. The confidence seems to be a little rattled on Liquid, and paiN are overflowing with it. It is brimming. It is just honestly a little overwhelming with how well paiN are playing this match right now, and Liquid have failed to find a counter. But here comes Naf with the first kill, spamming away on ramp. Position's being swapped up by Liquid. Naf is doing a little more to hold off that ramp position, doing more damage on the Hard Zao, who's now picked up the op. Liquid This is their chance to strike now, moving around some positions. Fallen going out towards Secret with the op in hand. Slowly but surely making his way outside. Hard Zao has rotated there as well. Has the Fallen op from safe, and now Fallen's going to try and pick off these players as they walk through the outer yard. Fallen's getting a little aggressive though, and he very well might get 1-for-1 or even taken out early. He's scoped, he's revealed his position, but Hard Zao dry peeks into a PKL though, trades him back. 4v3, still favoring Liquid, but plenty of time for paiN to work around.
"55 seconds left for paiN to make their move. Bigu and Squeaky spotted up by Stewie. Re-peeks it, gets one, and the second they line up for him. 3v2, just like that in favor of paiN. Now Naf's position is known, so paiN likely going to push on to this A site. Little do they know, Elige is waiting there, and he will find one on Bigu. 2v2 now. At least finding that information out, and only losing one player is the good news for paiN, because now they can cycle towards the B site and get what will be a free plant.
A free plant and a post plant on B is very easily defensible, especially if it's wide out in the open, which is where Nikiz is going to plant it. Elige and Naf will be hard pressed to get this retake to go in their favor, especially as Naf is starting to reveal his position there, spamming away. The reload will give more of it away. Elige has one flashbang to work with. He's prepped it, ready to go, but they're not going to get blinded by Nikiz. But Elige will have one, trades it back, legged by Nikiz. But still, Elige turns away from the double door at the wrong possible time. Nikiz giving those fist bumps over to the boys. And paiN up 8-0. Did you expect it to be this big in the favor of paiN on T side? I did not. I expected them to win the map, but thought it would be a lot closer than this.
Look, I mean, I know Liquid doesn't usually like to play here on Nuke, but I thought they'd be able to at least shut them down on what is one of the most favored CT sides in all of the map pool. But they can't. Yeah, I'm surprised, honestly. 8-0, already taking the first half, haven't given up a single round to Liquid, and this timeout, of course, makes sense because they need to get things back in gear here. Looking at their economy, well, I mean, you could force up. You're down a lot of rounds, but the better play would likely to be go for the half buy once more and get the full-on buy up in the next one and get that op in Fallen's hands once more.
Yeah, I want to see something aggressive from Liquid here on this pistol round, because just holding the sites are not doing anything really in their favor. Nobody on Liquid has even 5 kills.
Jeez.
This is bad. There's no sugarcoating this. This is not a good performance in the early going from Liquid here on Nuke. Yeah, they lost to Godsend 16-8. paiN are already at 8 rounds. They're halfway to that 16th round. And Liquid don't even have a player with 5 kills. They do have some nade damage on PKL, however, but Stewie is now down for the count. And Liquid are playing this incredibly passive once again. No outside rush, no lobby crunch, no ramp play, no secret flank, just very bare bones, dry CT side nuke with no flair or flavor thrown into it.
paiN just biding their time right now in lobby. A bit of spam coming through there into the hut, and it's going to continue. But as it stands, still only that lone frag on Stewie. PKL lit down to 12, so perhaps vulnerable to these deagles. paiN still deciding where they're going to end up here. Time ticking down. A bit of aggression now coming through from Elige, but PKL, oh, the timing actually not in his favor. He looks away for a moment. Now he will look back, and he still finds that frag. Elige goes down. And paiN, well, with 33 seconds left, here comes the execute onto A. It will be where the remaining 3 players of Liquid are standing. But no, they're faking A and rotating to B with less than 30 seconds on the clock. They really do have to hightail it. And there is a player here, Fallen, who could be a thorn in their side. 18 seconds left now for them to get the bomb planted. On the back of the keys, Naf still can take him down. He can't. It's over. The frags come through. Everything goes well, even though time was dwindling, and paiN get a 9th.
Very disciplined anti-pistol round there from paiN, although they almost big-brained themselves in that last dish rotation down to B. They still recover things well, and I don't think paiN are really doubting anything that they think of right now. Their confidence is absolutely on another level. 9-0 up on Liquid. Remember the last time these two teams played? 16-4. In favor of Liquid. paiN have recovered marvelously. And you know, this would not be the first time paiN has defeated Liquid in a BO3. They won the first meeting between these two teams all the way back in March. So, paiN are no strangers to beating Liquid, although they haven't really met this team too many times. Just 2 BO3s is the third.
Yeah. And we also have to keep in mind that the other two maps that time were Dust 2 and Inferno that Liquid lost on, and they're not even in sight. We've got Vertigo instead, and I can assure you that things will be a little tougher for paiN once we get on over there. There's no doubt in my mind. But we're not done here yet. Liquid could still come back. Sure, it's a pretty daunting scoreline at 9-0. But anything's possible in the keys. Going to get needed down to 68. I think the best news, of course, for paiN is that this is typically what you would see as a CT-sided scoreline, not T-sided. That's how good they are here on Nuke. Oh my goodness, free frag for Nikis over on Elige, who wasn't even watching Big Garage. It just feels like Liquid's positioning is out of sorts.
Out of sorts is a good way to describe it. About the proper way, too. Can they recover this round? Naf has given him a chance, but Grim falls immediately after. Naf still in through heaven, tossing the molly on the side to buy a little more time, but in comes Stewie. He's popped for 2, looking for the 30. It's the headshot. Liquid finally break that goose egg after 9 straight from paiN. They make a bit of an omelet here. They get a breadstick on the board, but it's a decently clean round as well. Stewie, he gets things going for his squad. Naf as well, and finally Liquid break their curse. It's a long time coming, John, and looks like paiN got a little too big for their britches in that one.
I just think Stewie made an incredible play. I mean, that was what was missing in the previous 9 rounds, is just those individual efforts that we were expecting to see from Liquid, from the likes of Elige and Naf and even Stewie, but we weren't getting them at all. Finally, we do a first round on the board, and honestly, it went against the flow of play in that round because it looked like paiN were going to be able to come through and take care of business, but they overlooked Squeaky Door.
Yeah, minor oversight right there. But paiN are going to call timeout immediately after losing that round. They feel the momentum in their favor. They feel the advantage they have. They don't want to lose it. They want to punish Liquid for perhaps a little bit of overconfidence into this matchup, and they want to steal away this map and send it to Vertigo. Maybe a little bit of revenge paiN desire as well. Revenge is a dish best served cold, they say, but perhaps some fireworks to end off this series.
Well, you can bet that paiN could be anti-stratting on Vertigo, right? Because they had a good amount of time today to watch some demos, and even yesterday. But Safe is going to drop Fallen to open things up here. Team Liquid unable to hold on to Ramp Room, and now you see everyone backing away from it. They are going to give this to paiN and try to get back into the B site should the bomb get planted there. But paiN have not decided where their ultimate destination will be as of yet. They do have one player headed down there. That's Safe to have an early peek with the AWP. And there's Stewie in observation, peeking back and forth, just to try and make sure that paiN don't get the jump on him here, Austin.
Naf spotted out one towards ramp that's deep. Hard as out, gets tagged down a little bit, but it's almost just stung by a bee, if anything. Not really too much damage taken by him. But Safe has picked off Naf in the end. That's 2 kills for Safe on the round, both entries. And now that's the B side wide open. She's taking a bit of a duel out with PKL, but he's actually going to win that relatively cleanly, so that'll give Liquid a little bit more of a fighting chance into this round, because the B site is swarming with paiN players. A middle of the site bomb plan from Nikis. I like this idea, not the classic Astralis plan, but instead even more out in the open where paiN's ramp players can really punish any diffuser. Windows being broken as they're smoked off. Stewie, Molotov out in towards the cubby. Nikis forced out. Grim is spotted by Nikis, but Grim wins that duel. Now he's looking for the next, but he's been smoked out. Utility on his belt. R2 flashbangs. He can send them forth to help his teammates. Stewie has one, but he gets traded out by Big U. Elige picks off Safe, and he knows where Big U is, but Big U has the headshot. Grim is holding. He has to pop off. Big U's not tapping. He's not peeking. He's just waiting. Grim is running out of time, and it's too far gone. Grim has to bail, and paiN have a 10th. Does Grim survive? Yes, he does.
Oh my goodness, that's the second or third time that Big U has been huge in a round, and, well, he prevents the diffuser from coming in. That duel with Elige, honestly, I didn't think he was going to win. That was really impressively done. And now, paiN Gaming on to double digits on their T side. I mean, sure, I've seen some dominant T sides from paiN, and in fact, some of them going into double digits, but this one, against Liquid, never would have thought it would happen.
Yeah, I mean, Not in this fashion especially. This has been domination by paiN. They've been reading it well. They've been taking the sites that they find openings on. They haven't been hesitating, which I think is the biggest part for paiN too. They get an opening and they exploit it. They don't buy time. They don't wait after they get that opening. They just go for it. And then a lot of that has to be said to go to their confidence, because when you are a confident team, when you are having success, you don't hesitate. But sometimes when you are a little bit shaky, you do hesitate. Fallen though. Get an opening onto PKL. paiN resetting a little bit. Safe boosted up. Stewie splits the goalposts. Those tweeners right there. And misses the shot. Elige is coming in to support, however. Hard's out. B-hopping Elige misses the timing. Stewie's got to be careful now, but Ramp under the firm control of paiN, giving them a lot of room to work with. They can split towards A now if they want to send those Ramp players up towards Heaven. But Elige has another idea, keeping an eye on the red box at our yard, but he's been spotted. He's been damaged heavily. But here comes Naf to back things up. This is the Liquid that you expect to see, filling the gaps with other players. Big U finishes off Elige, 4v3, rather in the favor of Liquid. But in comes the A-pop, and there's a Molotov in the hands for paiN.
Set up here for Team Liquid, and no, Naf and Grim both go down! Not a single frag amongst them! Stewie gets a no-scope from Vent, which is actually pretty nutty, but he's the last one standing here in a 1v2. Continues to go up and down that ladder, trying to find another one, but, well, this bomb's gonna be planted, and given the economy for Liquid, he's gonna actually come back out and face with his knife out! He just comes out knifing! And Hardzao easily finds that frag. I'm not sure what was going through his mind right there, but either way, paiN Gaming are happy to find an 11th.
I don't think he expected that read, which you kind of have to, but either way, knife out, pants down, 11-1 in the favor of paiN. This is an absolutely incredible scoreline.
Another thing is he didn't have to face at all. Sure. If his intention was to save, there was no reason to face towards Mini. So anyway, going into round number 13, paiN have only given up one round to Liquid. Liquid coming through here with a Deagle buy-up. Grim, pretty aggressive position into Hut. He gets naded down to 76. Are they going to expect him to peek out here? Good flashbang thrown by Stewie to support. Grim gets one, looking for a second, won't find it. Maybe Stewie can, or Naf, perhaps who's pushing up? No, neither of them can. Fall and drop. Stewie and Elige do manage to get a couple though. Makes a 2v2. Elige with a second for himself. PKL, the last one standing. It's getting interesting. Oh my goodness, what a wallbang for PKL. Makes it a 1v1. Elige coming around this corner. PKL sees the shoulder, and he will go down. Elige takes it. The Deagles work. And the most unlikeliest of rounds goes Liquid's way.
Of all the rounds for Liquid to win, that's a massive one to pick up, man. That is, I think, just going along with the tale of this map, which has just been insanity overall. paiN fall victim to the Deagles. It's a painful way to lose a round, but they should be able to recover. They already have 11 too upset about that. Fallen only able to get one. As to the fire and the flames, the paiN side will push forward. Stewie up on top of Hut, catches off save actually with Grim. Keys has another coming down as Stewie will get two. And PKL, he has only one here. Nice is out for Stewie. The most Stewie kill to get. B-hopping in with a knife. And I guess Liquid are still in good spirits there because, well, you don't do that if you're usually down 11-2.
Yeah, I mean, taking that risk. But hey, it's Stewie. He likes to go for those knife frags and be a little flashy. As Liquid pick up a third for themselves. And, I mean, look, you make it 11-4. It's not too shabby. Stewie, yeah, he was really clinical as well in his defense on top of Hut. As PKL, unfortunately for him, couldn't even fire off another shot before getting knifed. All right, here we go. 15th and final round of play here in this first half. Suffice to say, it has been an excellent one on the T side for paiN, regardless of what happens here.
Well, Safe not going to be able to connect that first shot. Means that Liquid have a bit more of a chance to win this round and bring it to an 11-4. If Liquid bring this map back on T side, John, imagine the scenes.
If paiN can do it, so can Liquid, right?
Yeah, so paiN tend to have a bit stronger of a T side on this map, although the competition is different. paiN always seem to be more comfortable in those aggressive situations. But there's a pick for Fallen. PKL getting a little too big for his britches. Fed down by Big Brother, given a timeout. Now it's a 5v4 in the favor of Liquid. Stewie still on the catwalk area. holding an eye on things, but Naf has himself one from Ramp Room, waiting for the rest of these players to rush on in. As a flashbang for Utility, that first one goes too far, and he'll pick up Hard Zao as well. Neck is his next victim. It's all down to Big Azera on a 1v5, none v5. Liquid, they bring things back a little bit closer here. 11-4, still heavily favoring the paiN side going into CT, but we'll decide who wins this map after the break. Nuke. They're only 5 rounds away from sending us up to the 51st floor. John, Liquid, the pistol round is critical for them. It gets said a lot, but this one is huge. They want to mount a comeback.
Well, they do have 3 in a row to finish off that first half of action, so maybe. We'll see. Momentum's sort of on their side, and they're just going to charge down into Ramp Room. Hard Zao a chance to punish, and, well, there's the first one. He'll likely fall off towards the B site. They're not going to expect Save to be here. They're not even clearing for him. He gets free shots, but can't connect, and Hard Zao's gone as well. Oh, no. Safe needs to do more damage. Finally does get it done. There's the second for himself before going down to Stewie. And it's now a 2v2, 2v1, fast and furious here. Grim has to win 2 1v1s to take this, and he won't. PKL drops the last one. Honestly, I'm surprised that firefight between Safe and 3 Liquid members didn't end in Safe immediately dying, and that's why he gets that 3rd, 4th, 5th chance to find those 2 frags.
Yeah, that was definitely a wild one. chaos and pandemonium over on B ramp, but paiN still win the day in the end, as they should have given their setup. 12-4 now. Liquid not going for a full investment, going for a light one, couple deagles, P250, and double flashes over in the hands of Stewie, looking to do a little bit of damage to this one, but going full rifles round number 18. Famas is on 2, an AUG for save, and a couple MP9s as well for paiN. They're relatively well set up to stop out these armored pushes, but a bonus round could definitely go against them, and nothing's counting out the pistols of Liquid either in this round. But however, a long-range peek against the AUG is definitely not going to facilitate a win. 2 for Nekiz, he gets third as well. Naf's going to go down to his hand. PKL picked up Stewie. Clean, easy mop up there for paiN, about as easy as it gets. Because the one saving grace for Liquid there is the fact that it didn't die to the SMGs.
Yeah, at the very least, rifle frags coming through, but you're still down 13-4. You do have the rifles coming through here. AKs across the board, about half of their usual utility, maybe a little over half, but Elige definitely shorthanded, and so is Stewie. Here we go. Round number 18 underway here as Liquid sending 4 members towards the outer yard, 1 into lobby. Naf, maybe Naf's going to go for some early aggression into the A site. Well, he does get naded down to 68. PKL could punish here. He gets nothing. Elige deletes him the second he spots him, despite the damage he takes. And Nekiz is on a very sneaky flank. Let's see if Grim checks for it. Well, he comes back, but he loses the bomb. Molotov going to get tossed here. That trap's fallen in there. But with that frag on Nekiz, he will be in much better condition. 4v3 in favor of Liquid.
Health is still low on Elige and Stewie, leaving them incredibly vulnerable to these MP9s in the hands of paiN. They're still going to go down towards B, though. Liquid committing down the secret stairs and on towards the B side. Elige, Crab walking forward, waiting out this smoke to aggress down to the lower site. Their utility is still decent, considering what they had coming into it, and compared to paiN as well. We only have 3 flashbangs left. 3 flashbangs for Liquid, a smoke, and a nade. Now it's a 3v3. The safe has picked up Naf. This is going to make things a lot more difficult for Liquid. Start walking down to the B side. It looks relatively undefended, however. That's the one thing they have going for them. A 3v3 hold is definitely doable, but they don't have their smoke or their nade anymore. Out they walk on towards the B site, clearing things, making a lot of noise, and letting paiN know exactly what the play is. Fallen planning back silo is going to allow paiN to rotate down, but they only have flashbangs to work with on this retake. They know one's back silo. Or at least they think they're
safe. Going to charge through here with the AUG. He spotted out the player over back silo. Fallen. Doesn't get taken down, but the trade comes through. Hardzao finds him, and now it's all up to Elige here. And Stewie. Now only Stewie, as Hardzao's flicking around to find these frags. Stewie opens the doors, just playing with them, trying to buy time onto the bomb. And I think he's done enough here. Opens the doors once more, opening and closing them. Playing games, it seems, but it's going to be over. Team Liquid are taking this round, and the frag, well, it's going to go the way of maybe no one. Bomb's going to explode. Okay, Hardzao gets it, and Hardzao will also die to the bomb. Weird round, but Liquid take it.
They do take it, but it's a very expensive round, John, and this is the most important part here. Liquid can't really afford to be losing too many rounds at this stage of the map. They're down by 8, and paiN will need 3 to put this one in the bag. Liquid's buy consists of 3 Galils, minimal utility on a couple of players, particularly, I guess, just on Elige, but Naf's relegated to a MAC 10. This is not the best of circumstances here for Liquid. Meanwhile, paiN have an op in the heads of Hardzao, interestingly enough. He's going for a glass cannon. And safe is on an MP9. So still, both teams in a very awkward spot economically. But you do almost have to favor paiN as they are on the defensive.
1:21 on the clock here. Still no frags to speak of. This Fallen's going to hit the T-roof here with his Galil by his side. paiN, like you mentioned, probably have the edge into this round. But Liquid have proven to be quite potent in that previous round with their entries. Big PKL. Waiting on the safe side. Here comes Team Liquid charging on forward. Grim gets 1. Nekiz trades it right on back. And Nekiz looking for more. Can't get it. Grim and Elige dropping 2. Only Hardzao and Safe left. And they might have to save here because Hardzao's got the big green. And he's also on the outside looking in. Nice take for Liquid. They waited, bided their time. But when they hit, they exploded onto A.
It's a very good explosion for Liquid and showing some signs of life here on the T side. I think Hardzao really wants to save that op for Safe here. And he's definitely not going to be committing things. Safe will hang around in the lobby, try and grab an exit or two, but Liquid, very nice on the entry there. Safe finished off as well. Liquid will grab a 6th. If paiN can do it, so can Liquid, and arguably a little more potently. There's a long road back for Liquid still, despite getting a couple rounds in a row. paiN, however, will not really have anything aside from this op, which I'm assuming Hardzao is going to toss to Safe because he doesn't have armor either. You want your opera to have that in this sort of situation where you are on a hero op when you have pistols and nothing else surrounding it. Although Hardzao still seems committed to holding on to that op, he does have a spawn, so let's see where he wants to go with it. Liquid, a couple M4s now in their pockets, and a little more confidence here. What's the call from Liquid? Perhaps an outer yard play or a B ramp play. Either way, Liquid starting to spread out in the early going of this round, and Hardzao posting up towards Squeaky will get nothing besides a little bit of a scare from those spams towards Hut.
And the smoke's coming through here for Team Liquid. Deep smokes between Mini and Big Garage. Fallen gets the opener on Big Uzera. 5v4 quickly for Liquid. Hardzao has to be careful. Doesn't want to go down. If he can't find the frags, or it's a significantly disadvantageous situation, well, he's just going on a hightail out of there and save the AWP. So far, Liquid, a lot of respect being shown for paiN as they have a very slow pace to their outer yard clear.
Hardzao looking for an option. Not going to spy anyone, however. Although Naf may very well be his victim, or vice versa. Down to the timing on the swing. Naf catches the op. I don't know if he's going to be too happy to pick it up, though, on the T set of Nuke. Although Liquid still have to get the bomb down. They've not yet moved it to his side. It's on the back of Grim, who's now starting to work towards A. Fallen keeping an eye back and forth on Secret, and Hellcoat room area. But paiN, not much of a bite in this round now with that op gone. It's a matter of time until Liquid can pull off this round. Bomb will get planted now. Let's see if paiN can get any kills out of this retake, because that's really all they can hope for at this point. Although Nikiz might just pick up an op. Although Naf and Stu are going to be watching this intently, making sure nobody can pick up that fallen Big Green.
Yeah, that's such a bad place for it to be dropped to, as Stewie gets one and he knows exactly where they are. He's going for another knife. Stewie, settle down. Naf gets one and Safe manages to trade that one out as well. So 1v3, they're going to chase him. He pulls up the Zeus. Everyone getting cheeky here, but Safe will get taken down by Grim, and that will be that. Liquid on to 7, and now the lead sitting at 6.
Starting to dwindle here for paiN. This buy is not going to be the best either, which means it's very likely going to be an 8th for Liquid if they can continue their exploits here. Op has been picked up for Fallen as well, so that's a $4,700 investment Liquid do not need to make. A couple FAMASs and an MP9 for paiN into this round. Plenty of Molotov, but no utility whatsoever for Safe. This is something that I don't think they'll like here. Leash takes a bit of nade damage early on. Spots out Safe, though, in towards Secret. And down goes one of the two M4s for paiN. PKL has the other. He's outside of Hut. Rather. Keeping an eye on things. Falling back towards credit cards around the edge of the smoke. A Leash and paiN like ships in the night. But PKL has the angle. Spots at the shadow and then sprays down the Leash. Crosses. Fallen, however, misses the shot onto PKL, who's finished the job onto Fallen. That is a big pickup for PKL and a man advantage for paiN, giving them a lot more wiggle room in this round. Perhaps a 14 on the board if you can find Grim 2, which he does. PKL, hero play imminent already with 3. Just Stewie and Naf left to salvage things for Liquid.
I have to say that's a shot that Fallen really should have hit, but back to the action here. Looks like Stewie and Naf trying to make their way into the A site. Good smoke thrown. There is one to challenge from heaven, but it's a FAMAS in the hands of Bigu, so they could easily take him down if they're prepared for his peak. Likely support going to come through here on the paiN side. That's nade on the wrong side. Bigu thought they were planting a little closer, and they were not. So now at least a bomb plant coming through for Liquid. That'll help their economy into the next one, despite the fact that they do have quite a bit built up already. And, well, paiN almost certainly going to come through on retake soon, you have to imagine. Time is ticking away on this bomb. They're looking for that opener. Can't spot out the bodies. Here they come. One drop down to the site. Naf gets one. PKL trades it out, leaving only Naf by his lonesome, and that will be that. Bigu does indeed find it, and it will be 14-7 in favor of paiN.
PKL with a 4K. Pulling paiN, kicking and screaming to win that round. Well done there by PKL. He grabs the op for safe as well. Something he'll like to have on the CT side of Nuke. Liquid will be able to full invest. Fallen will not go for the op, and given what happened in that last round, I don't blame him. Be full utility for the rest of the Liquid squad, although Grim is holding off on the last piece of utility unless he's dropped it on the floor somewhere. And he'll buy a nade instead. Liquid, you could almost call this a must-win round for them, as if they lose this, it's 15-7 in favor of their opposition, and Liquid would be broke going into what would be the last round of the map. Before we hit to Vertigo, safe. He swapped to a Molotov. He could get caught out here. Goes back wisely to his op. As the smoke goes down, Elige will cross, as will a couple more players from Liquid before the Molotov pops. But Stewie's taking a lot of damage. Now PKL, the hero of the last round, hiding out towards the stairwell. Nade is well-timed if you would have let it go there. There it sends forward. And Elige, actually it's Fallen to take the brunt of that damage, so not too shabby. Flashbang comes through as well. PKL buying a ton of time and waiting for his teammates to rotate down if they so choose. Molotov forces him out of position though, and Hard Zhao is here to back things up on the B site. Liquid are walking into a trap.
3 players waiting for them here. Just have to win those aim duels. Easier said than done, of course. PKL waiting at double doors, and 3 players walk right on past. It looks like they're going to make a play for observation. Hard Zhao is watching. Should be able to get at least one. And he has the support of 2 of his teammates, of course. Doors get open just to distract, and PKL flicking around trying to find a target. Does find one, but the trades come through. 3v3. Safe manages to connect on Elige, and Nikis also finds Nap, and it's over. Safe gets the last one, shut down by paiN onto B. They have map point.
Map point indeed. Nuke looking heavily in the favor of paiN, leaving Vertigo as that decider. The overhanging map, which could spell doom for paiN, although there's a decent chance they have some anti-strats prepared, but we can get into that one after Nuke has been done and dusted. Fallen on the glass cannon op. Deagles across 3 and Grim on a Mac 10. Up against paiN's full rifle, full utility setup. Things are not looking good for Liquid in this round, and Fallen peeking down towards ramp is going to spy nothing. Elige takes some nade damage in the meantime. And now he's finished off by safe. So, first pick goes the way of paiN as they're looking to shut down Liquid in this round and go to Vertigo with some hope and a bit more than a prayer.
Yeah, I mean, losing 11 rounds when you're on your CT side is tough to recover from. You're seeing why here. PKL gets a 2K. Fallen and Grim go down. Only Stewie and Naf left standing, and they're the ones that only have the Deagles in their hands. Bigu waiting in the rafters. And he's got a great angle should Stewie come out. I do think he spotted out the shoulder there on the peak. So Bigu with that information. Wait, fires away. There it is. Stewie's dropped. Only Naf left. 5v1. This one is likely over unless Naf manages to pull off a 1v5 clutch, which is possible, but extremely unlikely. Naf firing away. They still can't zero in on him. He gets a second, and that's going to be that. 16-7 in favor of paiN on Nuke. Very dominant performance, and it all started with their T side.
It did indeed. An 11-4 T half. It could have been more for paiN, but they'll settle with that in the end. 16-7 to take the map away from Liquid, and Vertigo is our decider.
Yeah, because they looked pretty loose in the way they were playing it. Perhaps they're saving some strats for the major. Honestly, well, we won't know until the major kind of kicks off, of course, but it was rough for sure. Dominating on their T side. We know how good paiN is, of course, on their T side of Nuke. We kind of pumped them up a little bit before the match started, and they certainly delivered at the very least in that regard.
They really did. Nikki's also delivered this ace that really set the tempo for that T side. And Liquid were never really able to get things going until that first round they won on round number 10. And even then, it wasn't very convincing overall for Liquid, and it was a pistol round they ended up pulling off to get something going too to finish off the half. paiN never really looked like they were the underdogs in that scenario. They looked very confident, they never hesitated, they moved around the map well, they took their spots, they took their openings, and they never really let go of anything they were given by Liquid, whether it be on the T side or the CT side. And yeah, that knife from Stewie kind of just goes to show how this game went for Liquid. It never really looked like they were fully dialed in here on Nuke.
Yeah, definitely not. And I would say that, well, at the beginning of the second half of action, there was a glimmer of hope for Liquid. Things started to swing their way, and then, well, paiN came striking on back, and after everything, of course, excuse me, sorry, something started playing in the background. But yeah, after everything, of course, it will be map number 3 onto Vertigo. We do know how strong Liquid is on this map. In terms of their stats here in 2021, it's very, very impressive. 14-5 and a plus 80 round differential, their best round differential of any of their maps in the pool. And you look over at paiN, you talked about them being good on it, but it's not their best here, Austin.
Yeah.
They've got a plus 33 round differential and 14 wins in 23 attempts. I'd say it's probably their 4th best map in the pool.
Yeah, behind the likes of Ancient and Nuke, it's definitely down the ladder. But paiN are still a very competent team on the map. They can go the distance with some pretty heavy hitters. And Liquid, they still have to be careful, although they did win 16-4 in the last time these two teams met. And Liquid, yeah, very well might be saving some strats at the major. I don't know if paiN are necessarily going to feel the same way, particularly as I believe paiN could make it to Legend status if they beat Liquid here today. Liquid are locked in for Legend, so there's not really too much for them to fight for aside from Pride. So paiN have a little bit more going into this one, a little more fire in the belly. But I also want to mention PKL as well, because we saw Nekis have some great performances in that game. PKL as well did fantastic, and Safe was hitting shots like we know he can, and how he normally does, which is a very good sign overall from paiN. They can start peaking here at the end of IEM Fall, going to the major. They're going to be a scary team, and they might surprise a lot of fans.
Yeah, and I think the good thing there, and you kind of alluded to it, is that Safe wasn't the only player that they needed to come out with the win there. PKL and the Keys were extremely important, and arguably more important than Safe in the victory, because they were coming out with the rifle frags, whereas Safe was more in a supporting role with the AWP, both on CT and T side.
Yeah, and that's how you want to be as a team. You didn't even need Biguzetta or Hardzao to really show up for paiN either, which is an immensely good sign for them. And if I'm a team going up against paiN Gaming right now, I might be banning Nuke, because it looks like they're a very solid team on it, and perhaps I don't want to be playing against Nikis and PKL when they're dialed in on a map they seem to like.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough to move away from your perma though, right? Because you don't want to risk floating it and then get completely dominated after the opponent picks it, right? And then you end up on map number 3 anyway. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting heading into Vertigo, there's no doubt.
But Vertigo is where we settle the score. The 51st floor will decide who gets 3rd place, who gets 4th place here at IEM Fall. We'll figure it all out after the break.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose teen badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
5 years, the Lanxess Arena of Cologne has been the about competitive Counter-Strike.
One final map will decide this series between Liquid and paiN, but what's at stake here, John? Because it's not necessarily major qualification.
No, not so much, right? It's more bragging rights than anything else, and of course, a little bit of cash. The team that wins gets $11,000, and the one that loses gets $7,000. So it's a $4,000 difference. It can help, of course, coming out with the win. But at the end of the day, it's just one more BO3 before the major gets underway.
Yeah, and I think it helps out paiN a lot more than it helps out Liquid.
Oh, yeah.
And, you've already qualified with the major, so you got that sticker money coming in as well. Both these teams have accomplished their goals, and Liquid, I believe, are confirmed in Legends too. So for them, there's not really too much at stake. For paiN, it's really, they have everything to gain. Nothing really to lose, but everything to gain.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if paiN comes out with the win, I think that'll be a confidence boost for them, right? Heading towards that major, and I'm so happy to see paiN actually crack into the major, of course, Austin, because we didn't necessarily know what was going to happen once they got to IEM Fall.
No, we didn't. But we've seen a lot of good work from paiN. They're a team that's really been on a rapid up-and-up climb in the last few months in North America. They've earned their spot. They've earned their salt. Let's see what they can do moving forward here on Vertigo. As you mentioned before, it's a fantastic map for Liquid. paiN, they also do like to play the map a lot. It's not exactly their best, as it might be Liquid's, arguably speaking. But paiN, they should still have a lot of confidence coming in from that win on Nuke.
Perhaps. I think some memories of the 16-4 loss could be coming through for them as well, because Liquid were extremely dominant. In fact, it's very rare for paiN to look so docile, honestly, and they really didn't pull off much of anything. I say that, but Furia also humbled them, right? Yesterday, 16-0. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen here on Vertigo, but honestly, I give Team Liquid the edge, and I think they're going to take this BO3.
I do too, but I'm happy that it did go to a full 3-map series. Happy for paiN that they were able to get it there. Even then, it's still some confidence boosting for them before they go into the major. Let's see who could take it though. Vertigo, the 51st floor, will decide who gets third and who ends up in fourth here at IEM Fall. Liquid, paiN, on the T side, Liquid on CT after winning the 9 for M, presumably speaking. paiN have a lot of utility though, a couple nades, a couple smokes, and a couple flashbangs. Liquid, 2 smokes, a Molotov, and 3 flashbangs. So going all in on the utility front there for Liquid as well.
Yeah, I think the meta will really start leaning towards having more utility than body armor, and I've talked about it already. It makes sense, especially on that T side. It gives you a strategic advantage, whereas instead of relying on the RNG, which pistol rounds can very much be at times, it's just focusing more on going for some executes and some proper strats. Anyway, paiN going to head into Forklift. All 5 players eventually going to end up here. And it will almost certainly be an A-site hit.
The nades are primed and ready. Stewie spotted out one, but they also know where he is. He's going to take a little bit of damage. He overswings a little bit more, getting more information. He'll just fall away. Tosses his flashbang, still has his Molotov prepped and ready, but paiN were waiting for that flash, John. They play a strong anti-flash position and now start to push their way up. A flash, it's actually a decoy.
I like that decoy.
Into sandbags. Yeah, I like that a lot, and it's going to keep Liquid a little on their toes, although paiN have not committed to anywhere just yet. They're slowly working their way up towards Ivy. There's nobody really holding here from Liquid. It's a much more passive hold from the squad. Now as the utility floods in from paiN, they should be able to get a bomb plan for free before the retake comes in from Liquid.
Yeah, they do get the bomb plant, as you mentioned. And here comes Liquid on the full-on 5-man retake. Trying to spam through the smoke and connect for a frag before moving in. Fading through. Grim walks out, gets one Elige, follows up with a second, looking for the third, and there it is. 3v2 now after PKL drops Stewie. Can PKL hold on? No is the answer. Naf finds 2 more, and that will be that. Liquid take the pistol round. Great retake.
Any Naffers? That's a nice little bit of work by Naf there. Liquid on the retake, absolutely fantastic. Never really showing any fear, working in onto paiN and really taking the fight to them. Don't normally see the USBs closing the angle against the Glocks like that to such a great effect, but Liquid, they have a very dominating presence as still a top team in the world. I believe they're ranked 13 right now, so still a team that is towards the top echelon of Counter-Strike. They carry a lot of weight with them. It's a force buy from paiN, though, with the bomb plant, as you would expect. 3 Galils, double Mac 10s, a good amount of utility scattered across as well. Liquid 2 M4s, a FAMAS, and 2 SMGs, so decently alike buys, although the utility does favor Liquid here. A win from paiN could kick off things nicely, however, because don't pull in on here. There's rifles to be gained here from paiN. However, Grim's going to get the first, helped out by Naf, and Grim's going to get himself the second. In the meantime, though, a Legion fallen and picked up 2 more. It's all left on the shoulders of Hard Zhao. There's not much he can really manage with the Mac 10 in this situation whatsoever.
I mean, those frags came in so quickly that you could barely even process what was happening, but Hard Zhao is the last one with the Mac 10. And yeah, I mean, look, this round is over. Liquid going to take a second one. Hard Zhao just trying to find some damage, and he won't get any of it. Fallen drops him. And yeah, paiN on the force buy. Nothing really materialized.
Nothing at all. Liquid come out of it with full rifles now, as they have Galils bolstering their M4s, and you know the Galil is essentially an M4. Grim drops the FAMAS over that. This is the first time I've seen somebody actually actively make that decision, I believe, in a long time, if ever. So I guess that's just a little personal validation that the Galil is far superior to the FAMAS.
Well, I mean, sorry, I just want to interject there, Austin, but I think 5 more rounds in your magazine, right? And I'd say slightly more potential in terms of damage. I don't mind it.
Yeah, the Galil is just better in every respect. It's got a slightly harder spray control. And it's got 10 more rounds. It's got a lot more damage. It's basically an M4 in terms of damage. FAMAS is slightly weaker. We'll see the Galil's mopping things up here. No casualties here for Liquid. There we are.
And that's why you pick up the Galil over the FAMAS, I suppose. But yeah, 3-0 in favor of Liquid, though, and paiN Gaming will be back onto the rifles. Yeah, for the most part, everyone should have AKs in their hands. Bigu just waiting to buy up here. And there we have it. Full utility as well will be coming through from paiN. Bigu does buy up that last piece. Thought he would be short-handed, but no. They fully invest into this one. Liquid on a bit of a bonus round for themselves, but, I mean, look at what they have. It's really good for a bonus round with those 3 Galils and the A1Ss. Naf priming the HE and tossing that down towards the B stairs. That's Liquid just trying to get that early push back against a potential push from paiN.
Still no aggression from paiN just yet, as actually... Okay, there we go. Things froze a little bit, and actually Grim's going to burn alive as we get back into the action here. Molotov's coming in, but Naf is still holding. He's getting sprayed down as well, and now it's going to be a paiN takeover of the B side. PKL holding into the mid-rotation. Elish is going to get caught off by PKL up on jump up. There's a couple more players as well, Netkeys and Safe. Netkeys will fall, but Safe has the trade, and paiN Gaming win their first gun round. That's a good win, but here comes Liquid's full investment right back in. Because of their lack of damage taken on those last couple rounds, not to mention they picked up full rifles because of the Galil buy-up by paiN, Liquid aren't going to be too fussed. They're going to go straight for a double op setup here. There's a timeout called, but still, Liquid are in very good shape right now. No timeout, actually just taking a peek at the players' faces. And, well, Naf's on that secondary op here. It's not going to be Stewie. Naf is a very deadly player to hold on to that big lead.
Players here on the A side for Liquid. McKee's trying to spam through the smoke. That double op setup for Liquid is very potent. That said, Naf getting sprayed down to 36. He was trying to play aggressively down towards mid, but now he definitely has to back off and hold a more passive angle. Elish priming a smoke to be thrown through that window. And that will be for scaffolding just to re-smoke. The timing is good. Stewie waiting on the other end. Could farm some frags here if the timing is right for him. Shoots with the smoke, gets a 2K. What? Oh my goodness, they lined up for him. Safe manages the trade, but it's only one. And a man advantage for Liquid off of a very nice play by Stewie.
You know, they call him the smoke criminal, but it's usually because he's the one in the smoke finding kills, not because he's usually the one spamming a smoke and killing dude blind. Plus a boatload of damage. Fallen will pick up Safe there. PKL down to 30 HP. Hard Zhao has full HP. A little bit of Molotov tick information there as Fallen gets pushed forward. He's stuck between a frying pan and a fire, and the fire will fry him up nicely. So, a bit of a chance now for paiN, as they're only down by a player now. Hard Zhao's looking for a flank, but nobody's going to give it to him just yet. Liquid don't have to over-aggress. It could leave Grim to anchor out towards B. as we slow down here, actually, we're going to pick up, so I'll save that for a later date. paiN gonna have to push on forward. Smoke, nade, and flashbang. Elige in a good spot to shut this down. Spots out the one. He drops the bomb. Hards out, throws his smoke high. He's blind as a bat, and Elige gets the second kill. Naf swung out with the op as well. 4-1 for Liquid. But as I was going to say there real quick, Grim has gone from a star player on his former team of Triumph to more of a support anchor on this Liquid roster. It's been a big adjustment, but when you have an anchor with the individual skill of Grim, it really makes things a whole lot easier for you to hold a site.
I think it also plays against his strengths, though, which is why he might be struggling a little bit to find his form on the roster. I think he will eventually. He just needs a bit of time. But he was more of a player that liked to rotate around, be more mobile, and get some really flashy and impressive frags. So, well, in either case, he is certainly extremely mechanically skilled. And I think he definitely has a place here on this roster. That said, Liquid did isolate that round victory for paiN, but paiN all to lose one already. Grim spraying down hard Zhao. Elige waiting over at A ramp. There are 4 players from paiN that could be pushing into his crosshairs. Safe on the hero op, in fact. We'll see how that pans out for paiN. Stewie trying to spam through the smoke again. Would have been nice, of course, to find more than that, but he actually gets one right after it fades on PKL. Stewie jumping down towards those back calls. Molotov thrown in the meantime. Elige gets one. Stewie looks for another. He finds it, and only Bigu left, who's just going to have to retreat here and try to pop off with the op. He does get one on Stewie, but he has to isolate 4 more players. It is a very tall task. Fallen going aggressive, but the smoke is guising off his advance, and now Bigu gets tagged through the smoke, down to 16 HP. It's done. The flank's on. 5-1 for Liquid.
Man, Stewie just keeps getting so much damage with those ramp smokes. I'm surprised he stayed alive as long as he did, too. That final duel, I believe, was against Nickies, was also something special. But Liquid up 5-1, really starting to establish control here on Vertigo, and paiN, they're definitely going to be getting a little bit of flashbacks here. Unpleasant flashbacks to that group stage matchup against Liquid and Vertigo. AKL tosses out a smoke early on. Only one op, though, for Liquid still in the hands of Fallen. Their economy is not really stabilized just yet. In comes Nickies, though, and Safe's going to pick off Elige with the smoke. Good damage early on by paiN, getting the advantage. See if they can grow that. But Grim has other ideas. He's aggressive, John. The positioning's the sorts of situations you say he's such a good player on, which, if you've been following Grim for as long as we have, we all know. He's in a very good spot if they decide to go towards B, but I don't think they will just yet. I think they're going to commit towards A, as pretty much everyone does for the most part on Vertigo. Stewie, he's been the Guardian. He's been that Minotaur guarding the maze. He's just going to back away now. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome.
Yeah, he's really been difficult to take down here on the paiN side. Plays scaffolding quite well. Bigu gonna Molotov sandbags, and Safe is walking up there into scaffolding now. Here we go. Grim will have an engagement. I very much doubt that Hardzow's gonna clear this, and he doesn't. Easy frag for Grim. In the meantime, Fallen drops PKL, and a 4v3 edge in favor of Liquid with Nickies very lit. Stewie, along with Naf, waiting for the push to come through from paiN, and it's Bigu who's trying to lead the tip of the spear here, but at the same time, well, he's going to back off on those stairs. He wants to reposition and trade spots with Safe, who will instead be pushing onto the A site, and a Molotov actually gets wasted into the smoke there by Team Liquid. Smoke flies through. Stewie finds one. Bigu's dropped. Safe tries to come up with the trade, but can't get it. Nickies drops Naf. Fallen getting Nickies, and it's all up to Safe. 1v3. Can he pull it off? Well, with that much damage taken, I highly doubt it. He's trying to hightail it out over here with the op, but he won't be able to. Stewie spots him out. 6-1 in favor of Liquid. And I think this is kind of a repeat of what we saw for paiN on the previous match of Vertigo, because they're in it. They're actually winning some battles, but at the end of the day, they always find one round victory, and then they were isolated.
Yeah, once they get something going, it just never really snowballs into anything good for them. Liquid are able to really react to the situations incredibly well. It just goes to show why they're such a good Vertigo team, because even when things seem to be going against them, they're able to stabilize the situation and come back and make it an advantageous one, and eventually take that advantage and turn it into a round win. Pistols out for paiN here. No hero op this time, and Elige looking to get some damage done, as is Stewie, trying to spam more people down from that A-ramp angle. More utility being chucked through here. Artillery strikes just going a little too shallow, a little too late perhaps. Molotov comes forward. Elige continues to hold. Liquid don't need to go aggressive. They have all the advantage in their favor, looking to get a 7-1 lead over paiN before they can get the rifles back up in hand. And just going to give a rifle over to paiN would be a bad idea because we have all seen what these players can do with them individually speaking.
Flashbang going to be thrown there by Stewie. He's trying to get some more frags through that smoke. He's already up to 9, leading the scoreboard for the squad. Elige by his side, Stewie. There's one after the smoke fades. PKL drop. They've got a great setup here on the defensive end. Stewie with 2, but Hardzal, wow! 2 frags come through with the P250, and that gives them a couple of rifle upgrades onto the ground. Liquid still have 3 players up and running, and look at the health for paiN. It's not good, but at the very least, they're able to open up a little bit of space and give themselves the potential for a plant. Safe spots out Naf. Here we go. Man advantage now. Fallen gonna have to do some work, and he gets stinked down to 23. That's Hardzal again with the P finding it. Grim manages to bring it back even at a 2v2. But Fallen is still very exposed. If Hardzal peeks at the right time and hits the shot, he could get it. Safe, though, goes down, leaving only Hardzal by his lonesome, and now it gets that much tougher, and it will end with Grim's frag.
Good work there by Grimothy, mopping up the eco frags here, keeping Fallen alive as Hardzal's F1 peak almost took him down. That's something I want to know here, too, that brings to mind. I don't believe any of the paiN players have ever played an international LAN. Not so sure about local Brazilian LANs back in the day, but I don't believe they've ever played an international LAN whatsoever.
No,
and LAN is a very different experience than online. You try those race car peaks on LAN, chances are you're going to get punished by an op. So there might be a bit of a stiff learning curve for paiN if they're not careful, flopping over to the major once they eventually get there.
I mean, for sure. LAN is a different experience. I think that adjustment period will happen almost certainly on the first map that they play, and hopefully after that they'll be able to figure out how they need to go about it. But that said, we're not there yet, as PKL is going to get the headshot over on Fallen, and the trade comes through right away on Grim's end. Grim, he's now almost at the top of the scoreboard, 10-2. Certainly has the best kill to death differential at +8. Performed well on Vertigo last time against paiN as well. Stewie going to drop Nikis, and yeah, paiN are not clearing this. Why isn't Safe going back to watch out for Stewie, who finds himself a second, could be a third, finally goes down, but look at the damage taken by Bigu, who's on to 39 HP. Molotov going to get tossed in there towards the back halls, smoke as well. That's for A site proper, and Naf will have to back off because it's thrown in his direction.
Chance for a plant here from paiN, but Elige is going to work his way through ramp and backstab them if they don't hurry. PKL will plant that bomb, or at least try to, getting spammed down by Naf. He does get the bomb down. Elige gets one from behind. He'll pick up an op, and Naf finishes off that spray. Grim will get the defuse, and an 8-1 scoreline for Liquid. This is running away in the favor of Liquid, John. It is swiftly getting out of reach for paiN. And it started off so well, too, with PKL finding Fallen, but Stewie's play out towards Ivy and Ramp has been indomitable. Nobody's been able to take him out.
It's a problem, right? And they're forgetting about him as well. He gets a frag, and they don't even look in that direction. They don't even think that he's going to push through the smoke, but come on, it's Stewie. He will. And it's 8-1 in favor of Liquid. They've already taken this first half of action in terms of rounds 1. And now they're just trying to pad onto their lead. And I think this is perhaps why paiN weren't getting too excited, at least visually, right, about their win on Nuke and how well they were playing there, because they knew that Vertigo was coming up next, and that is Liquid's playground.
It is, and Liquid are definitely having a field day with it right now. What is the answer for paiN? I guess you got to counter Stewie if you keep on trying to go A. But how do you counter Stewie? Because a lot of the time Stewie's doing a lot of damage before he even gets spotted, just spamming through smoke.
I don't even think it's only about Stewie, right? Because everyone's playing their role really well right now in Liquid. In particular, Grim, right, on the other end with the rifle. He's just shutting down paiN whenever they try to gain some space towards that B site. So you have Grim to worry about on B, Stewie on the A site, and everyone else, well, they're popping off too. Elige has been solid throughout all of IEM Fall, and that hasn't changed at any moment throughout this BO3. Elige, here's all those rounds being rattled off from the AKs, and look at this through the smoke again. Damage being connected on by Team Liquid as Nikis is taken down to 42 and PKL at 81.
Look at that damage. Again, going back the way of Liquid on paiN. They're using a lot of utility in this initial battle, though, however. out. But paiN have gained 0 ground, and they're still holding on to this A idea that they want to take towards ramp. Perhaps they'll start to rotate back towards B now, as things begin to look a little bleaker over towards the A site, but Hard Zhao is going to try and enter at the very least, walk up the stairwell. He's revealed his position, and Grim is still here guarding things, as Naf as well as a friend. It's a darn deadly duo to deal with right there, John.
It really is, and paiN are trying to take a slower approach here. They don't clear out the sandbags just yet. You have to imagine a Molotov's going to come through very shortly, but it doesn't. Elige, free and clear, gets one, then the second on PKL. He's starting to get into his groove in a big way here on A. Stewie, of course, already there. He gets a flashbang from Fallen, finds an easy frag on the keys, and yeah, paiN just unable to do much of anything until that. Hard Zhao at 2K opens up a ton of space. Bomb plant could come through. There's still a man down, though. And there's the smoke tossed to give that opportunity for the plant. Liquid is spamming away. All 3 of them flashed. And now, Naf tries to push up. He gets punished by Hard Zhao as well as on 4K. Now Bigu drops Grim and Bigu gets fallen. The round turned on its head here by paiN. It looked like Liquid were in control until Hard Zhao gets that 2K and they storm on forward to win the round. Wow. I mean, how does that happen after Elige does that much work? And Stewie.
Hard Zhao getting that double entry gives paiN an opportunity to win that round, but it looks like Liquid got a little too overzealous. There's a technical pause called too, which could have something to do with what happened to Fallen, because it seemed like he completely stalled out in that situation.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to wallbang that box before Naf swings, and perhaps that's why Liquid had to go aggressive with the rifles early on, was because something happened to Fallen, but because damage had already been done in the round is a live round, and you cannot match Medic from that point in time. So maybe a bit of misfortune costing Liquid the round there, at the very least giving paiN a much easier road to victory there, but you cannot underestimate the fragging power there from Hard Zhao and Big U in that situation. Yeah, things look like something's gone wrong. So you see the players here. Nobody's allowed to talk right now since it's a technical pause, so I guess it's just silence and wait, players. But John, can paiN get anything off of this situation? Can paiN begin to grow some momentum, some sort of lifeline from this win?
Well, the thing is, one, there was the technical issue, like you mentioned, and I did notice Fallen just looked like he was walking in the air at one point, and I think he had a connection issue of some kind to the server, which is why he couldn't contribute as much as he wanted to in that round. But I feel like paiN, yes, they win it, but under those circumstances, it might not be as much of a confidence builder as you would like, right? And also, not to mention that even when they were winning the rounds last time on T-side, which they did on Vertigo, Liquid always isolated them. They weren't able to win 2 in a row. If they get 2 in a row here, then maybe we'll be talking about a potential to get back into this one.
Oh, we'll see. I mean, you could never count paiN Gaming out of a situation, however bleak it is. If they can string some rounds together, yeah, things could definitely change, but as it stands, it does look very still firmly in Liquid's favor. I mean, Vertigo alone is stacked in their favor. Liquid's pretty balanced, too, just looking at their last 3 months in terms of half win rates. 65% of their CT rounds are won, 55, almost 56% of their T rounds are won as well. So a very good amount of balance, and still heavily favoring the CT side in terms of percentages compared to their T side, but it's very, very close in the end, and still over 50% on T. Definitely a very good scoreline. While paiN, they're slightly better on their T side, just about 3 percentage points better on T than CT, and 58.6 on T. So for paiN, things are getting a little more rough as their favored side is starting to go against them more and more. That window of opportunity, that round, does keep it alive a little bit longer.
Well, looks like whatever was wrong with Fallen has now been resolved, as we are about to head into round number 11. And Liquid, despite the fact they lost that previous round, well, they still had enough money to get a full-on buy up here. I think Stewie has a rifle waiting for him on the ground. Or maybe not. No, only the 5.7 for Stewie. So we'll have to see how that pans out. He will have Elige by his side. As Safe is charging up immediately in towards ramp. Good Molotov thrown to force Stewie back, and in fact he takes about 31 damage from it. Now Stewie, well, he's got a little more reinforcements than usual here towards these back halls, and he's going to help boost. That's Elige on top of his head to get some visibility into scaffolding.
That visibility is a lot of information. They know that paiN is not too far aggressed just yet. They're still holding back towards ramp, expecting the push from Team Liquid, which Stewie and Lige have been going for multiple times so far in this early half. But PKL, he's trying to be a snake in the grass in his own right, working around behind, sniffing out a weakness if he can. But still, if Big U finds nothing, I don't think they'll go back towards B. I think they're still going to commit towards A regardless of everything going on. They're all congregating here. They're all starting to walk up. Safe is making noise. Elijah is still holding. He doesn't really have to go anywhere. It's a matter of time before paiN walk into a Liquid stack.
Yeah, they're actually going to fall off the boost now. They've been very cautious about how often they use the boost because it was punished when they used it twice in a row against paiN the last time they were on Vertigo. But it's the first time it comes through here, and unfortunately for Liquid, it doesn't really yield anything in terms of frags, but they get some information off of it. Here comes the smokes and the execute by paiN. Only 20 seconds left in the round. They're really bringing it down to the wire. They cannot make any mistakes here, and they've already lost PKL. Here's a lead traded out by Nikis. They have to get this bomb planted, and soon Nikis finds a nice little 2K. Fallen manages to take him down. This bomb is going to be planted, hopefully for safe's sake anyway, and there it is, 3v3. Liquid on for the retake. Safe gets taken down 29, and Grim drops Big U. Fallen flicks for a wicked one on Safe. Only Hard Zal left standing on the ramp. They're watching and waiting. He gets one and only one. Grim ends him. Defusal comes through, and Liquid, as they did the previous time, isolate the round victory for paiN.
Fallen D season comes back with a vengeance. That is a crisp flick there from Fallen. I'm sure we'll see it on the replay if we have it. But that was clean on the retake there from Liquid. Grim as well putting in some work here, and paiN isolated round victory yet again, John. They're going to be able to buy up again. Let's watch this again, though. I just want to see that Fallen flick again because that was so nice. Oh, yeah. Skeet shoots him out of the air, Fallen down. Vintage Fallen.
Oh, yeah. Well, look. Now Team Liquid are up 9-2. paiN will still have enough to get a pretty full buy up here. 4 AKs in the Galil with a great chunky utility. Hard Zao, along with Big U, have made their way towards these B stairs. The bomb has been dropped right before the entryway. Grim, well, he hasn't been tested for a little while. Only 2 frags since we last spoke about him on this B site. He's going to spot out Nikis. There's one over on the A ramp. It looks like the hit will likely be coming towards B, though. So again, we look back to both Naf and Grim.
There's a good amount of utility here too, but Grim's going to be met by Big Zera, but Naf responds with one, but Hard Zao trades it out. But still, the man advantage favors Liquid here in the situation, and Hard Zao is incredibly low. Stewie's already here in the rotation as well, jumping up, spots out Hard Zao, I believe, but he's going to spam away, has an idea of PKL's positioning, and gets that kill. Leaving it all down to Hard Zao now. 1v3 with 32 HP, no bomb, no utility. Oh, he does have the bomb, I guess. No utility at this point. This is a very dark time for Hard Zao. And a 10th round on the board for Liquid looking imminent. Hard Zao gonna punch in those digits, or at least fake he is. Waiting for aggression from Liquid, but they don't need to peek here. They can continue taking out Hard Zao. Now they'll drop, but Lige, he might get blindsided early, but unless you hit the headshot, he will counter with one of his own. 10-2. Liquid, full control of this half. The final map of Vertigo, the 3rd place decider.
Yep, kind of. Well, not kind of. It's what we expected so far.
Yeah.
But looking at paiN, they did invest quite heavily into that round, and their economy wasn't too good after it. And as a result, you see 3 Tech 9s, 2 PT50s, and well, looks like PKL and Hard Zao have the full utility with Nikis bringing in a little bit as well. Grim, perhaps expecting a quick push, backs off onto the B site. Naf gets the opener on PKL. 5v4 for Liquid, and with that opener, he will be backing off. Big U, I mean, there's a Tech 9 on the ground. Could be a little better than the PT50, but he decides to stick with what he has. Nikis and Big U moving into elevator. And now they push out to mid. There will be a player watching here. I think that's Fallen peeking around. And Naf as well waiting out. Oh.
That was painful. Grim's going to answer back with 1, make it 2 for him. Fallen picks up another, and Grim will end the round with a hat trick. paiN had a good kill there, but only 1 kill really came their way. 11-2 now in favor of Liquid. Timeout called by paiN again. But they're running out of racetrack here. Liquid only need 5 more rounds to finish this series. And let paiN prep for the major after that.
Yeah, paiN just talking things over here on the timeout. They will be investing into the AKs once more. Maybe want to talk about if they should get the op dropped for Safe. Keys would be able to afford that. And then that would allow Safe to get full body armor. But looks like no. They are going to go... Oh, yes, they do. Okay, excuse me. There's the op dropped for Safe. And it will be the op and 4 AKs as the buy-up for paiN. Over on Liquid 3, make that 4 A1Ss and the op. I mean, their economy isn't necessarily that great because the bodies have been dropping. And as mentioned before, paiN are competitive into the rounds, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, they're finding opportunities, but they're not able to seize on them. Liquid just end up filling those gaps well. Almost like those special bike tires that plug up those holes. Stewie's gonna spam away, gets another kill from the smoke. All right, Stewie, knife out, dodges the keys and gets the kill! Stewie strikes again from ramp. Hardzao will trade out onto Naf in the meantime, however, and B site becomes a little more vulnerable, but Fallen's going to aggress, walks right into PKL. Hardzao and Safe strolling on towards B, but Fallen's here. So is Grim back green. Molotov goes forward, and I believe it actually went over the map. So Molotov will not do anything here. Boots up for Safe. He catches off Fallen. That's a good kill, bringing it a little more close, but here comes Grim. He trades it out, but Hardzao now 1v2, picks up the op. Interesting situation to pick up the op in. He spotted out the first, but Stewie's just going to wait because Elise can come on the flank. Hardzao to take the fight. Misses that first op shot. He gets tagged down a little bit lower. Hardzao out in the open has to either plant the bomb or get this kill. Gets the first, but Elise is coming up the stairwell. Hardzao is waiting for him. He has the right angle, but he goes back to check towards green and spawn. Elise is biding time, waiting for that plant to come through. Does not need to overextend, and he might just rotate all the way back towards A and completely fake things out here. Hardzao now playing for that 40-second timer. Elise goes up the ladder and out towards mid. He will be going through jump up and back towards site, but Hardzao has given himself a chance. And more than just a chance, he's given himself a good opportunity.
Hardzao waiting with the op. He doesn't know where to look, of course, because no real information, as Elise has been walking the entire way. Now he starts running around. I think Hardzao's heard him. Taps the bomb. Trying to bait out a peek from Hardzao, and he does. Does he spot him out? Not yet. Now he does, and a missed shot from Hardzao gives Elise the opportunity he needs to wrap this one up. He's got the defusal, 12-2 in favor of Liquid.
Bit of a panic there from Hardzao, moving a little too far around the map, a little too fast perhaps. All he had to do was really hold his line. This was that Molotov. This was incredible, though. How does he get that kill on the neckies, man?
He jumps over his head. I don't know if he knew he was there, but still, I mean, looking at it, it's an impressive bit of acrobatics by Stu to make, well, to help them get that 12th round victory, of course, as we're in round number 15, the 15th and final round of this first half. Already 12 on the board for Liquid. Look, I mean, any more would help here for paiN, but that's not the start that you want to have. Fallen, the wall bang, nothing the keys could do, of course. He goes down 5v4 in favor of Liquid in the first 20 seconds of the round. And you see paiN leaning in again towards this B site. I mean, sure, I don't really mind it. They have had some success taking the site over the last few rounds, and getting that bomb planted is just holding on to post plant has not exactly been successful. And you're going to see here, waiting on the site, is Grim. He's got 16 frags, looking to make it 17 now, and he goes down right away. Good job by PKL to isolate him. Evens out the numbers at a 4v4.
Great little way of PKL to isolate that duel. And he goes for more. He takes out Naf with a molly burning on site. More utility coming in from Liquid. The bomb will go down from paiN. It has finally been planted. Elise takes a lot of damage to that smoke, but he's hopped up, elevating his position, trying to get a view over that smoke. He'll drop off of it now and spots out Hardzao, back pillar. Hardzao, if he sticks his neck out too far, will have his head chopped off his shoulders. Haircut delivered there by Elise. And now it's time for PKL to shine once more as he drops Stewie. Fallen has the op, looking to come in through this, but Elise is going to fall to PKL as well. Big Uzera, the victim of Fallen... murderer, I should say. And 12-3 as paiN salvaged the last round of the half. Here we go. Only 4 more rounds for Liquid to finish off this match and finish in 3rd place. paiN. They're down by 9 rounds, John. It's a very large channel to swim across to even tie things up. And Liquid are on their playground of Vertigo. Pistol round is about to commence here. Not a lot of utility for Liquid. Not much for paiN either. It's going to come down to the headshots.
Yeah, it's one more round than they had heading into the second half. Compared to the previous matchup, a safe gets that opener over on NAF. 5v4 in favor of paiN, but Stewie's going to drop safe, and it's a bit disjointed now on the defensive end from paiN, and credit to, of course, Team Liquid for creating some chaos. It's still going to be the man advantage at the end of the day for paiN, but it's a weak one with Bigu down to 14 HP, and all 3 Team Liquid players stacked up, getting ready to hit this A site.
Yeah, they're ready to go. paiN are going to be hard-pressed to hold this one down as Liquid start to march their way forward. PKL in up towards jump up, looking for the first kill. That's away, does not connect it. Here, Zhao will get felled by Grim. PKL is still holding things down, but the bomb is getting planted for Liquid. 3v3, Elise swinging out, gets a dink on a PKL. There's now hemorrhaging paiN players across the map. Bigu's at a sub 14 HP. Nekis gets one onto Elise, but still Stewie and Grim are alive for Liquid. And they're going to fall away and let paiN run into them now. Grim holding from back ramp, playing a lot more passive. Stewie over towards Ivy, swings, but it's Grim's turn to get the next kill. And Nikis is now sandwiched in between 2 Liquid players, and Grim will finish the job. Hat trick for Grim on the pistols. Liquid with the 13th, and paiN just about running out of racetrack now officially. As they lose this one, they'll be down 14-3. And it looks like paiN want to 4, so a 15-3 scoreline is looking pretty likely for Liquid if they're able to win this one clean.
Yeah, I mean, down by 10, I don't really mind the force. We'll see what paiN decides to do with it, if they're going to stack the site or play a more default setup, and it looks like it will just be a default setup. They got 3 players going towards the A site. Maybe some aggression will come through. You have Bigu peeking around, spots out someone, tries to go for the wall bang, but cannot connect. As paiN are also going to be pushing down those beats there. Stewie's trying to spot a target, and he does. PKL is his victim, looking for the second one, and he gets it too. Hardzow's down. Here comes NAF swinging around from mid. Everyone clicking here for Team Liquid, and only one left standing for paiN. That's Bigu, who does manage to get a Wandig, but he's completely surrounded. Nothing much he can do in this situation, and it will be, unless something goes incredibly wrong, 14-3, and there it is. 14-3 in favor of Liquid.
Yeah, as expected, Liquid able to mop things up here on Vertigo. There's still a couple more rounds before they can really say they've clinched the victory. paiN not going to invest too heavily here. If I'm not mistaken, paiN still have a couple timeouts too, which they could use one of here. But I don't think they are going to use that timeout. They're just going to go into this little upgrade on the pistols. Liquid looking like they're going to get a 15th round. Minimal resistance from paiN. 15-3. That would be a comeback. For the history books, paiN are able to pull it off. Good flashbang, but a liege on the spam on the MP5. Another person I'm seeing using the MP5 in these last couple of days, I believe, was Cirque yesterday, who had the MP5 in his hand, doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, technically, statistically, the MP7's the better gun. It can do more damage, but there are some advantages, of course, to the MP5. It's the same as the A1S. I mean, well, obviously the A1S is obviously more powerful than the A4 now, but still, the MP5, you don't hear much of anything when it's being fired, and of course, no tracers through smoke. So, it can be effective in situations.
Here comes Bigu. Zeta flashed in by Nikis, but fallen, and Stewie making a 4v3. Grim's walking up towards side, spots out another player exiting towards F-Halls. Then comes more utilities. Nikis, he's gonna swing. He's not gonna catch it. Besides, Fallen's Mac 10. Grim finishes up the spray on the PKL for taking a lot of damage, and he'll combine with Fallen to get Hardzao in the end, 15-3. And now paiN have one final chance to stand here. For it looks like things are over for them.
Oh, yes. 12 opportunities for Liquid to close this one out on Vertigo. Not, of course, the performance that paiN were hoping for. But hey, look, I mean, they took Nuke. They look good on it. Even if they lose here, it's good practice to prep themselves for perhaps an eventual match against them once they get to the major. Hardzao going to fire on through here with the AWP. Double op setup coming through for paiN. He does back off. and will eventually fall towards the CP spawn. PKL opening frag for him. Nikis goes and finds Nav, so at least paiN making some noise here in what is a bonus round for Team Liquid. Bigu spots out a Liege, only Fallen and Stewie left, now only Stewie, and paiN looks like they will be able to get a fourth here at the very least.
Unless Stewie pulls off the 1v5, as I speak those words, he gets taken out by PKL, so paiN will stay alive at least one more round. We'll continue to move forward here. Series points still in the hands for Liquid, but this is their real full buy. AKs and the op for Fallen. paiN, they still have that double off for Safe and Hardzao. AK's on one, at the very least. And Nikki's has been very good in these last couple of maps. Let's see if we can do a little bit more into this one. That AK in hand. Safe aggressive in towards mid, however, getting flashed away by Liquid. Tosses a volley on retreat. He'll reset with the rest of his squad. A little bit of A aggression from paiN as well, but nothing nearly to the factor of Liege and Stewie in the prior half. But Nikis catches the timing on a Liege, and that's going to be an opening duel won by paiN. Fight for it.
And Grim takes so much damage that engagement, but does take down Bigu. Keys, the one who kicked things off, also goes down. Naf, beautiful headshot from the AK. 4v3. Only 3 players stand here in the face of Liquid and a third place finish at IEM Fall 2021. Grim, Molotov towards those back calls. PKL immediately smokes out a Molotov that was thrown, I believe, on his end. And that will force Team Liquid to be a little more patient should they choose to go to the A site. It looks like they're falling off a little bit here, Austin. Might readjust and go for that hit towards B. And they have Hardzao waiting with the op. They should be able to isolate him with this utility, though.
They forced him back behind plant box. He's going to sit behind flames. He's pushed back towards green. He's going to miss the shot, though. And Grim's picked up both Safe and Hardzao. The oppers are gone, and it rests on PKL's shoulders to win this one out. But no, it's Grim to put it to bed. He puts in a monster performance here on Vertigo. And Liquid are getting your third place spot here at IEM Fall.
Yeah, well deserved, and the exact same scoreline as before, 16-4 on Vertigo. They really do have paiN's number on that map. As mentioned, we saw some promising signs from paiN on Nuke, maybe a little less so on the other 2 maps, but still, it is Liquid we're talking about here, and they will go to the major at least with a win in their last match of the RMR event.
To prep a lot, get ready for that major, but the same could be said for paiN, who did show some glimmers of brilliance, but it was not a consistent shining for them. We saw some good aim, but overall, especially on Vertigo, it was a Liquid field day. Everyone on this roster performing to their maximum. Stewie, that smoke criminal status, living up to it right there. Liege had some great kills, Fallen with some good flicks on the op, and Grim had a massive performance as an anchor. Then on T-side as well, was very impactful in some of the rounds that Liquid won. So overall, good team performance from Liquid, and I think they'll be happy with this moving forward, prepping for the major.
Yeah, not much to say, honestly, for their Vertigo performance, just what we expect to see from Liquid when they play here. And yeah, I mean, you're watching all the highlights come through. This was impressive by Liege and Stewie, what they put together. Ended up losing the round because Hardzao came out with a nice 2K, and of course Fallen having some connection issues, but there's Fallen, when he got back, hit a wicked flick and got Team Liquid right back on the board. This play by Stewie, I mean, just absolutely perfect, as Team Liquid cruised along to an easy victory on Vertigo.
That was an easy victory there. Little glimmers of brilliance here and there from paiN, but they really never were able to get anything going. It was just domination from Liquid in the end. And that just about seals the deal right there. paiN, they do get 4th place though, and they qualify for the major as well. I'm sure they're really, really happy about this. Going up against Liquid, it's going to give them a little bit of a taste of reality and what they have to go up against at the major. So it'll be good for them to go back, watch over these VODs, prepped, and get ready to go. paiN, I have a lot of hopes for them moving into the major, though. I think they could do some damage, surprise some teams, and maybe even make a run in towards that top 16.
Look, I mean, possible. It's going to be very difficult for paiN to be able to pull that one off. There's no doubt about it. But they certainly have that explosive potential to surprise some teams and catch them off guard. If that can last over a BO3, well, that's another question. I guess we'll have to wait for the major to find out. Not to mention, of course, the fact that they've never played in a LAN, or at least not an international LAN. So it's going to be an adjustment period in a very big way, but at the very least, they get the opportunity to experience that, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, making the major in and of itself is a massive achievement, and nobody can understate that or overstate that. Making the major is one of the goals of everyone who plays this game, who tries to play this game. Making the major is about the pinnacle of what you can achieve. So, for paiN, they've already accomplished that. See if they can go any further over in the major. Now, for Liquid though, I think what we can really expect from them is much of the same, see if they can improve on their scoreline. But as you see that Godsend Furia matchup on the bracket, folks, that one's still going on. It's a best of 5, so plenty of Counter-Strike still yet to be played in that one. It's over on the A stream if you want to go check that one out. John, who do you think's going to take that one?
I think Furia will take it. I mean, they're up 2-0 right now. One on Mirage 16-6, and then Inferno 16-14. And I mean, if you do recall, Godsent, and we talked about this quite a bit throughout IEM Fall, they did end up winning in a BO3 against Furia at the end of the IEM Winter qualifiers, but Furia has quickly shown that they were just trying to shake the rust off there, and they're really in good form right now.
That's good for Fury. They came back a little shaky, but they're getting back into the action as well. John, any final thoughts before we sign off at IEM Fall?
It's just been an absolute blast being here, being able to cast IEM Fall and all these awesome teams and matches. Yesterday was an absolute thrill ride, getting to see EG qualify for the major, and here, of course, the opportunity to cast Liquid is always really impressive and amazing.
Yeah, it was a blast casting with you, my friend. It's been a blessing and an honor, folks. That is going to do it for us here on IEM Fall, however. On behalf of JRT, our observers, Totsish and Jakid, and the rest of our production team, we thank you for watching throughout all of these fantastic matchups, and we hope to see you sometime soon. Go over to that A stream, watch Furia Godsent, and we'll see you next time.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose teen badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.